Gibbons drops back to pass, pump fakes, lets it fly into double coverage. That pass sails out of bounds. Trying to hit Jonathan Stewart again. 4th and 7 now.
He was the only wide receiver that ran a route there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's...
they're just uncomfortable throwing the football. It's kind of been the same thing all night long. They just look really uncomfortable at the wide receiver position running deep routes. Again, it all starts with that formation. They've got basically 2 offensive linemen in at the tight end position, and it's easy to play defensive back when you're playing that type of formation.
So 4th and 7, West can end it here. Gibbons fakes a handoff, gets it out quickly. That pass sails incomplete, and this will be a turnover on downs as Trey Rowe was the intended target, and West is going to walk out of Blankenship Field with its first victory ever over Oak Ridge.
That's a big testament to this ball club of West. Now, again, they've got a very special ball club, probably one of the most talented teams they've had since they won that state championship in 2014. Victory formation for West.
And that knee is taken, and that should be enough to end this game. Gym Technologies, a proud supporter of the Oak Ridge Wildcats, wish Jacob and Cole Adams good luck for the rest of the season. Mayor Warren and Judy Gooch also wish the Wildcats best of luck for the rest of the season. Keys, Melanie, and Parks Philhour say go Wildcats, and good luck for the rest of the season. City Councilman Kelly Callison, go Wildcats. Oak Ridge High School class of 1962, the class of champions. They want to wish the Wildcats the best of luck for the rest of the season. Rick Chen, Oak Ridge Mayor Pro Tem, wishes the Wildcats best of luck. And attorney Jim Norman, a member of the 1979 state championship team, says go Wildcats as well. Final thoughts on this one, Coach Gibson?
A lot of learning to do for the Oak Ridge offense. I'd like to see them start changing up some things if they're going to be throwing the football around and playing in these formations. But West, what a dominating performance, moving on to 5-0. I tell you, Aaron, they could make a deep run and potential a championship type run this year.
This is such a tough region. You've got Powell in this region. You've got Fulton in this region, who Fulton looks like they're going to fall to 0-5 after being down at halftime to Carnes.
We've never seen that in our lifetime.
That's insane. And add West to that as well. This Oak Ridge team picked to win this region. They fall to 2-3 on the season and 1-1 in the region. OEB Law, we're so glad to have them on board with us all season long. Hammers, thank you for being our first down sponsor. Thank Chuck Fleischman for being our replay sponsor tonight as well, as West defeats Oak Ridge 24-7. For James Gibson, I'm Aaron Harvey. Thanks for tuning in with us. Stay tuned for the 5-Star Preps Friday night scoreboard show in just a moment.
Hopefully this check will make things
It's a lot easier. It'll cover your medical bills, auto repair, and we've even given you an allowance to help cover your expenses while your car's getting worked on. All you need to do is sign right here, and we'll take care of everything else.
Thank you so much.
A smiling cheater is still a cheater. If you want all your money, better call OEB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. I'm David Queener along with Johnson Cox. Glad to be here tonight. Our phone number is 483-8112. You can give us a call. Wow, week 5's in the book.
It's unbelievable. It goes by fast. West wins tonight for the first time in the history of the school against Oak Ridge. Is that what they said on our show?
I didn't hear that. Is that what they say? I seriously, I did not hear
When
that.
I walked in, I heard Aaron Harvey say that West has never beat Oak Ridge. I wonder if they meant at Blankenship
Or period.
or period. And then
Wow.
you gave me the shocker when I walked in. What was the shocker?
Greenback beating Oliver Springs tonight 50-0. That's blowed my
50
But now,
to nothing.
Oliver Springs had somebody that was questionable tonight that was hurt, and I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was a big running back or not. So I'm not saying that was I don't know. So maybe we'll get a call later on. Somebody will tell us exactly what actually happened. So I don't know, but that's a shot. There it is right there. If you don't believe me, I mean it's big. I'll tell you what's amazing. Now look at the scores. It's in the 40s and 50s.
Well,
They're just rolling in. I mean, Anderson County 42-0, Coalfield 50-0, Powell 48-7 over Clinton. Clinton winless. I don't know which way that program's going.
is it true they got kids quitting?
Yeah, that's what they say. I've not been around the program, not even seen a game. I mean, so I'm going to do a game next week on WYSH with Jim Harris next Friday night at Oak Ridge. But I don't know what's, Coach McCammy's in his 3rd year. Things ought to not be how it is, but it is.
I tell you, I watched the worst 4-0 team I've watched in high school football last night on TV.
Tell me how. Well, you just got to figure a way out to win. And they're winning just any way they can right now. I mean, they've won.
They really are.
They're winning ugly. You know what? The W's a W, man.
It really is. It really is. But watching that football game, I was like, how in the world are they 4-0?
Well, you know what to say. Sometimes the ugly wins better
If
than
Vegas
the
was
win.
making a line for 2 5-0 teams, Powell, Halls, I bet Powell's a 40-point favorite this coming Friday night.
And that is this Friday night.
At
coming
Halls.
up. Is it at Halls? Well, I'll tell you what you're seeing at Halls. You're seeing finally Halls has got a pretty good football coach there. You're seeing Carter that's got a pretty good football coach too. So we'll see if Halls can continue on. But it's like Powell's on a mission right now. They're trying to prove everybody from last year. So they're on a mission, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's about all I got to say.
Yep.
So we got lines lit up. Let's go ahead and try them out here and see if it's going to work tonight. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, David, first time caller, long time listener. They said you wouldn't be back on the show. I called them a liar. I'm tickled to see you tonight. I've been waiting a long time for this. Welcome back. I love watching the show. Love your coverage of high school football.
All right,
You're
buddy.
the man, David. You got my vote. Love you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Got a fan out here. Go ahead, caller.
Anderson County won.
Yeah, what was it, 40-something to nothing, is that right?
42-0.
42-0. Appreciate the call.
Okay.
Thank you. So that does work a little bit better there. You can hear him.
Absolutely.
They can hear you, so that's good shape. So 483-8112, give us a call. We'll wait on. I know some people are going to be on their way home tonight. Be interested to see if anybody from Oak Ridge calls tonight and talks about the Oak Ridge game. I'm sure the Oak Ridge fan will want to call in. He'll have some excuse what's happened to the Wildcat. I guess it'd be interesting to see if any Clinton fans, when they drift back home from Powell, to see what they've got to say tonight. But
Well, David,
let me ask you a question.
Okay.
When's the last time Fulton's been 0-5?
1992.
1992.
Yep.
A long time ago.
A long time ago. And then 96, they were 0-4 to start the season. And then right around that 99-2000 era, I think in 99, Kingston might have beat Fulton in the playoffs, and then 2000, and then all of a sudden 2001 hit, and Fulton's been good for the last 17, 18 years.
First time in how many years Fulton's probably going to miss the playoffs, and that looks like that's going to
No, that's not that long ago.
It's not that long ago?
They missed the playoffs, but Coatney's next to last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably 2008 they missed the playoffs. 2009 time frame, right in there. And they almost won a state championship. No, I'm going to tell you what, it was 2010 when they missed the playoffs last. Yeah, and
It's
they
still
backed the
been a-
playoffs in 11, got it going, turned around in 12, and then won 13, 14, and 15. Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good run, and everybody's got to reload it every now and then, so that's what I guess Fulton's having to do right now. I don't know what line's what here. Can't tell. Let's see. Let's try this right here. Quick caller, you on the air.
Hi, this is Jamie Chapel from Coastal Carolina.
Hey, Coach Chadwell, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, John. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. We got a lot of listeners from Anderson and Campbell and Roane County, and obviously a lot of people are very interested in catching up with you and hear what you're doing this year. And talk us through a little bit about that win the other day on the road in Kansas.
Well, it was obviously it was a great win for our program, first Power 5 win in our history, and I think the greatest thing about it was really, we were displaced because of the hurricane, so we had all that going, and to be able to still go out there and I'm realistic. They're obviously building their program as well. It's been down a little bit, but for us to still go out there and beat them, we kept the ball, Jonathan, in the fourth quarter, 13 minutes out of the 15, played keep away from them. And able to get the win, and probably the best locker room celebration that that I've been part of. It was pretty exciting, and just really the notoriety it brought to our university. Because anytime you're on ESPN, and then Les Miles and what he's known for, it got a lot of play, and just huge for us and what we're trying to build here. So pretty special time in our program, and hopefully that'll be the first of many.
Now, I don't want to screw this up, but you were an offensive coordinator for a while, a couple different stops. You got a job down at Delta State, and then you got a job over at Charleston Southern, and then you become the associate assistant at Coastal Carolina, and this is your first year as the head ball coach at Coastal Carolina. Is that correct?
Yes. So this is my fourth time being a head coach, twice at Division II, once at FCS, and now FBS. Yes, sir. That's it.
Now, tell us a little bit about, it's obviously a pretty cool to go play a Les Miles or a Nick Saban. Before the game, when you go, I was asked to ask you this question, so I'm going to ask it to you. When you go out to shake a guy's hand like that, when you're talking to a Nick Saban in that short amount of time, how's that conversation go?
Well, most of them, whether it's Nick Saban or some slappy like myself, most of them are pretty similar. You exchange pleasantries, and you'll compliment things that you like about their team per se. For me, obviously, Nick Saban, Les Miles, all those guys, you grow up seeing those guys on TV and how legendary coach, national championship coaches, all those things. So for me, it's just surreal, to be honest with you. So I'm just trying to see if they're going to give me any wisdom or anything they depart. I'm trying to figure out what it is. But most of them, they're obviously they don't view themselves that way. Les Miles was talking about the hurricane and how did you handle it? And then he got into Katrina when he was at LSU. So our pregame talk was more about handling the hurricane and what they had to go through at Katrina and what we went through, because that's twice we've had to do it the last 2 years. So. That was pretty cool. Now Nick Saban, he was too focused on his process. I don't even know if he knew who we were anyway. but it's a pretty cool deal there. Just from my standpoint, I'm sure not theirs, but from mine, just to be on the field there and have the opportunity to coach against people of that nature. That's a pretty cool thing about college football.
Absolutely. Now you got UMass tomorrow. Is that a conference game?
That's a non-conference. This is our last. Non-conference game here. Our conference starts game 5. We four non-conference games in a row, and then we
we open up next week with Appalachian State in our first conference game.
Is that at Appy State?
That is. So they're the preseason #1 team, and so hopefully we'll take care of business tomorrow and then get ready for conference play.
Well, you've beat some preseason #1s before, so why stop now?
Yeah, they're pretty good. So let's try to win tomorrow. We'll start talking about that one next.
There you go. Well, hey, I know you're up in UMass and you've got a game tomorrow. We appreciate you calling in the 5-Star Preps call-in show. Best of luck to you. I didn't want you to call in and start telling your brother how to call ball plays that night he was on the show. So I wanted to split y'all's airtime up. That's all right.
Yeah, my Mavericks do pretty good tonight.
Your Mavericks won 42-0 down in Hickson.
All right, slow night for them then.
Slow night. Hey, buddy, proud of you and congratulations. Keep doing good work.
All right, thank you, buddy. See you.
All right, see you, man. That's Jamie Chowell there, the head coach for Coastal Carolina, who played quarterback at Anderson County in the mid-'90s.
Did a good job.
I mean, he's won and turned programs around everywhere he's been.
Done a really good job.
Just texting each other back and forth the other day, and then I asked him, I said, hey, will you call in Friday night? And then he texted me today, and he said, we still good? And I said, yeah, what time? I said, we don't start till 10. He said, let's do 10:10. So I'm sure he'll go to bed. And I mean, they play at noon tomorrow.
Yeah, so he's up early in the morning probably. So he's got to early up in the morning.
Absolutely. But
let's get this last call here. Quick caller, you're on the air.
Hey, I just wanted to let David Queener know that he's got more than just one fan.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Who's that, Paulette?
Also, you've got on your scoreboard that that Oak Ridge had 24 and West had whatever.
Uh-huh.
My husband says you need to flip that around.
Okay, we will. I ain't paid attention. I know Oak Ridge got beat, so that's all I know. So.
Hey, caller, you know the reason Oak Ridge lost tonight?
No, don't care.
No, you do care. If you're a David Queener fan, you care. Do you know why Oak Ridge lost tonight?
No, because I'm an Anderson County fan all the way.
Because David Queener was not on the bus ride from the school to Blankenship.
Oh, that don't spell a hill of beans.
Yeah, it does too.
No.
I put a curse on him tonight.
Clinton.
Yeah, I'm from Clinton. You got that right.
That's right.
So you're an Anderson County fan?
I am.
What do you think about that principal up there at Anderson County, that Ben Downs guy?
I have no idea. When I graduated, I was the first graduating class from Anderson County High. I'm Anderson County all the way.
1982?
I don't know about that principal.
1982, is that when you graduated?
83.
83.
83. Okay. I was born in 82.
Oh, my God.
I graduated from Anderson County as well.
Yeah, I did. I graduated from Clinton. I got just beat by a little bit graduating, so.
But, yeah, I was one of the first graduating classes.
Did you just hear the caller that called in? He was the Anderson County quarterback in the mid-'90s. Coaches college football.
I didn't hear that.
Yep.
Yeah. Chadwell.
I had my husband turn the TV down so I could hear.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you calling in. Call again, okay?
All right.
Go Mavs.
Yeah, go Mavs. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 483-8112. I don't know. Get that. Yeah, well, there's that score. He's turned around now, so she should be happy. So I'm still just look at the score. I mean, just watch the scores roll through and look at the 40s and 30s and 50s tonight.
Yeah. You know, when we were making out some schedules earlier in the year and looking at some stuff, Jesse penciled in week 5 as possibly the worst week that we had as far as big games.
You know, is DB back? Because they're racking some.
I don't know.
They're rolling some points up. Looks
Hardin
like Hardin
Valley.
Valley's lost another one.
That Oak Ridge loss to Hardin Valley's shaping up not to be a good one.
You're probably right. Oneida gets Cumberland Gap tonight. I mean, I'm amazed at the 50s and 40s tonight. There's a lot of points being put on the board. Not a lot of defense being played tonight. That's for sure. Meigs County rolls over Rockwood. Wow, I wonder where that game was. I don't know if that game was at Rockwood.
At Meigs County.
Was it at Meigs County?
Our top team I've noticed.
Midway just squeaks one out against Wartburg by 1. Pretty good game. Harriman gets out of the...
Gibbs beats Campbell County tonight?
Yeah, I told you earlier. Look at that score, 42-14.
42-14.
Last time I heard it was 28-7. So
I'll tell you who's got a good football team, but it ain't going to go anywhere because I have to play Alcoa as GP this year. GP's good. That Derek Rain's got that program going in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's the guy that won the state a couple years ago, wasn't he?
Won the state. Was it no? What was the name of it?
Let me ask you a question. Wasn't he at West?
No, he was at Powell.
He was at Powell.
Yep.
Left Powell. Went there, right?
That's right. Left Powell, went to West Tennessee, coach, won a state championship. Got back into coaching up here at GP. This is his 3rd or 4th year, and he's really done a nice job.
Yeah, he's got GP back on the map a little bit. And Anderson County gets one in the Pizza League tonight, 42-0.
Wonder if the caller knows about the Pizza League.
Last call?
Yeah, 1983 graduate.
Probably not. I think me and you the only one. And listen, I've got.
Oh, no, we're not the only ones that know about the Pizza League.
No, there's a bunch of people who knows about the Pizza League.
Sunday morning at church, I hear about the Pizza
Well,
League.
listen, I was talking, and I'm not going to reveal who this person is on the air. But I had a conversation with one of the chain gang members today. And they said on Friday night after the game, they're just so tired, they're not able to probably come down here and be on the show.
Because they're old.
Well, I don't know so much about that.
The one that I'm talking about is real old. You got the gift shop. Got the boutique.
Yeah. Yeah. He's really wanting to come on the show. But you know why he don't want to come on the show?
Why is that?
He's afraid he'll show me and you up. He said, he told me today, he said, I know more about football than you and Cox ever thought about knowing.
He knows a lot about everything if you ask him.
Yeah, he does. Well, me and him's on a campaign together. Me and him and the fire chief, we're trying to get the billboards taken down for the Antique District. So we're working on it. So anyway, that's beside the point. But he is on you today a little bit, just a little bit.
That's all right. I love it.
Yeah, you should. Man,
We used to be neighbors.
Listen, these lines are hot tonight.
And I get texts, Anderson County fans watching this, texting us on the way home about making comments about the Pizza League already.
They're listening to us. Keep listening. Let's go. Let's roll. Well, somebody dropped off line 1. I was fixing to get it.
Ain't mad at
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Wondering what happened to Oak Ridge tonight.
I don't know.
He didn't ride the bus.
Well, Gaddis didn't call me and didn't ride the bus. I didn't go to Pizza Inn this week, and he lost. His fault.
Hey, they'll have some excuse to cry about it.
Well, they might. We're waiting on a real faithful Oak Ridge caller to call. He's not called yet. We'll see what kind of...
It's going to be the Red's fault tonight because they had a couple bad calls. He's going to cry about it.
Well, I tell you, I think tonight must have been the night. Tonight must have been National Referee Night or something, because you talk about the penalties that were called. I'm watching Oak Ridge and West play, and there was a ton. I'm listening to Jim Harris call the Clinton game, and at halftime there had been 18 penalties called, 9 and 9 on each team. So tonight must have been the National Referee Night or something.
No, Oliver Springs set the record for the flags tonight.
How many did Oliver Springs get?
Like 16.
Where was that game played?
That game was played in Greenback, right?
Right.
Did you listen to the game, or did you go, or anything?
Oliver Springs didn't show up. That's all it was to it.
Let me ask, was the running back for Oliver Springs out? Was he hurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
The big boy.
Big boy was hurt. The big tailback was hurt. That's what I thought.
Does he play both ways?
He plays both ways. He plays free safety, I think, on defense.
But they don't. They didn't show up. They just didn't have it. And Greenback's going to take it to whoever they play if you don't try to stop them.
Yeah, if you go into Greenback, you better jump on them and keep the gas pedal pushed. If not, they'll accelerate all over you.
Well, they Oliver Springs just act like I think some of the boys was sick. I don't know if the heat's getting to them or what. I don't know.
The heat. It's 80 degrees outside.
It's nice tonight, but I don't know. Oliver Springs is a good football team. Listen, I've been to Greenback. I've been to Greenback going with the TV station to go to watch Cofield play. I've been fortunate to see Cofield win a couple times down there. I've also seen Cofield lose a couple times down there. I can tell you this much: it's a hard place to play. It's very intimidating. It's intimidating if you're just standing on the sidelines, on the visitor sidelines. As an adult, it's intimidating. So it's really a hard place to go play. You go to Greenback and win a football game, you've done something. That's all I've got to say.
Did Cofield win?
Yeah, Cofield won big tonight, 50-something to nothing, I believe.
Who did they play?
I'm not even for sure.
Right here.
Who was it?
Sunbright.
Sunbright.
What about Harriman? Have they?
Harriman did win tonight. I seen it a while ago up on here. Harriman did win tonight.
Well, good.
No, sorry.
Well,
Oakdale. Hey, let's hold on. Wait. Harriman played Oakdale.
No. Cofield played
Cofield
Oakdale.
played Oakdale. Excuse me. Cofield played Oakdale. Harriman played Wartburg.
Well, what do you think about tomorrow with the Vols? What are they going to do?
Who knows? Give me time to think about it, and I'll tell you about 11:15, 11:20.
Well, don't think too hard because you know what's going to happen.
Well, it might, but give me time to think about it, and I'll tell you 11:15, 11:20.
Guarantee.
You guys have a good.
All right, see you, man. Quick caller, you on there?
All right. When do you guys think Randy McCamey is going to decide that wing T is not the actual objective for 5A football?
I don't know, caller. Just to be honest with you, he's changed it. Now he has. Now I'm not taking up for him because I don't have no reason to take up for him, but he has changed his offense a little bit because he's throwing the ball now. Where earlier on in the year he didn't throw the ball any. So, but you're right. The wing T offense, once you get behind, you're not going to catch up.
Did they run the wing T tonight, caller?
Yes, sir, they did, and once again it failed for them.
What's that?
Once again it failed for them.
Oh, it failed for them?
I played for Randy McCamey, and as I have to say, the wing T offense is completely obsolete in new age football.
There is a state champion, defending state champion that ran it, but their defense was also really good, and they played from ahead, and they did win a state championship last year running the wing T.
Yes, sir, but they had real good coaching.
So you're saying the wing T was coached better at Oakland?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've tried to figure out what Clinton's problem is, whether it's offense or defense, and when they've had a big offensive output, the defenses let them down. Then the defenses at one time had intercepted fumble recoveries and stuff, and now that's all went away in the offenses. I don't know if there was any turnovers tonight or not, or if Clinton, got any turnovers, but I don't know which. I can only tell you what they were saying on the radio, that the defensive backs are 7 to 10 yards off the receivers. Well, most coaches will pick you to death if that's the case. I mean, give me 7, 8 yards on every little slant throw, and I'll take it. And that's what Anderson County does a lot of, sideline to sideline stuff. And next thing you know, the score's 40 to nothing. And I don't know. Clinton better adjust pretty quick, or I don't know. They got some teams on the schedule I think they can beat. It'd be the last 3 games. It'd be about the last 3 or 4 games of the year, though, before that happens.
And I completely
agree with that, sir.
And if you look at their schedule, they've got Oak Ridge, West, the next 2, so that don't look good. They possibly could beat Fulton. Fulton loses tonight to Carnes. And then they end the season with Campbell County and Carnes.
And those are 2 winnable games because those 2 teams are Carnes just won their first game tonight. Campbell County lost again. I don't think Campbell County's won 1 or 2 this year.
They won their first 2. They
won their first 2, so they're 2-3. Oak Ridge is 2-3. I mean, if Clinton went to Oak Ridge next week and played good football and good defense, maybe. That's a big maybe, though.
Yes, sir. I can completely agree with that, but they just need to find themselves a good medium between throwing the ball and running the ball, and not just running 46 rep every time.
I heard that, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
I don't think he likes that play.
I don't think he does neither. Quick caller, you're on the air.
This is Danny Jones. Hammer beat Sunbright.
Hammer beat Sunbright, all right. Got their first win of the night. Well, the year, I mean.
It was 28-14, I believe it was.
28-14. I appreciate that.
Congratulations to the Blue Devils.
Congratulations, Coach Staff and the Blue Devils.
So that's the only score I got.
All right, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. What time is? How long we been going here?
30
About
minutes.
Hey, we better take. If you're on the line, hold on with us. All right, we're gonna jump out and take the first break. We'll be right back. Just a couple minutes.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Hello?
That's how some people do things.
Right away.
To us, everything we do is personal. Because anyone can answer the call. It's who shows up that matters most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Griffin Insurance is your local independent auto owner's insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Welcome back to 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard, 483-8112. David Quinter, Jonathan Cox, glad to be with you tonight. Man, it's really, for somebody that wasn't in the football period 4 or 5 weeks ago, it's hard to believe it's week 5, really, just to be honest with you, but
flies by. It'll be the state
you know,
championship
before long, you know, and most teams started region play. A lot of teams did region play tonight.
Yeah.
It was Clinton's first region game. There was a lot of teams in region play. Some had already played some region games, but it's not going to be long. We're going to be talking here in a couple of weeks. We're going to be trying to figure out who's going to be what in the seeds and everything. Just get another call. Quick caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, could the city of Clinton come up with $10,000 to get David Gillum out here? I know this ain't 1A football no more. I mean, we ain't playing Oakdale and Sunbright. I mean, you see what Anderson County's doing across the bridge. They're out here winning, but we can't even score a touchdown.
Well,
really.
hold on a minute. Let me correct you, okay? City of Clinton don't have anything to do with the football program. That's an Anderson County school, and the person you need to call is Tim Parrott.
We need to call Tim Parrott because we can't even barely score a touchdown.
Well, you're right. I mean, I don't know any way to. I mean, I would defend him if there was some way to defend him, but you're right. I can't. It's hard to defend.
Caller, did you go to the game tonight?
Clinton's got the talent. I mean, I just don't think the coaching's there because we can't really win. And Anderson County's over here winning. And I'm a diehard Clinton fan, and I just don't think this wing T's working out. I mean, our defense is bad, but if we can't score, we can't play good defense either.
Caller, did you go to the game tonight?
Yes, sir.
Was that a running clock, late
Yes.
touchdown?
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't think that wing T's working out.
A lot of people feel that way.
I think we need a new coach, but I appreciate the call.
All right, thank you, man.
And I hope he hadn't hung up yet.
Yeah, he did.
And here's the question. You're not happy with the wing tee. That's what we keep hearing. Obviously, they're not scoring a lot of points. Obviously, they're giving up a lot of points. You know, you said you don't really know if it's more offense or more defense. Well, it's both.
Yeah, it appears to be. It is both.
I had a guy the other day get on me, you know, and ask me about, well, what, you know, when will Oak Ridge football be back to what it was? I'm going to answer the Clinton guy the same way that I'm going to answer the Oak Ridge guy. It ain't ever going to be like it was. You've got too much talent going other places that used to stay in Clinton and Oak Ridge.
Well,
that's going elsewhere.
I'm going to agree with you 99% of that. In Oak Ridge, the difference is
jobs.
Is the job market down here is not like it was back when Gaddis was here the first time. And that's a real good point that you make about going other places. When Coach Gaddis came back for his second stint in Oak Ridge, I said, Coach, you know it's different this time around. It's not the same. And he said, oh, it's still Oak Ridge football. Well, it's not Oak Ridge football because you don't have all these people coming in here to the plants for all these jobs, and that's the difference. And yes, you're right. Kids are going to go now and play. They're not going to they're not going to hang around long if you're 0-5 or 1-3 or 2-2. They're going to go play for somebody else where another coach can tell them, well, you can win and we can get you a scholarship. And that's what a lot of parents are all about, trying to get a scholarship.
And at the end of the day, what matters the most to these kids, if they're at Clinton and they're 0-5 and they're not happy, and they can pack up, and if they're renting and they can pack up and move to Anderson County, guess what? They're eligible.
That's true.
You have a change of address, you're eligible.
Well, let's look at
Greenback.
You know, all you got to do is go up the highway. The caller said about Anderson County. Count the Clinton kids. It's at Anderson County.
Is Stone Hatmaker? I mean, his dad and grandfather were Clinton people, right?
Yeah, they live in Clinton. Yeah.
Why is he not a Clinton? I can tell you. He wants to win.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
He wants to win.
Clinton's just, you know, I keep saying this. It is hard, man. Once you start losing, it is so hard. It is so hard to get the winning train back on the tracks. It is hard.
It's like this.
But it's time in Clinton to quit blaming everybody else for your problems. And, you know, that's all I've heard. I'm not even going to repeat what I've heard. But it's time to just start winning football games and go back to winning football games and quit blaming it on everybody else. And somebody's got to take the blame and step up. I mean, that's just honest.
It is.
It's time to put up or shut up. I mean, you got 5 games left. They've only lost 1 game in the region. That's tonight. Win the next 5 football games, and all this goes away. It is that simple. You're in the playoffs too. Win the next 5 football games, and you're in the play. I don't even know what you got to win the next 5.
No, you
win the next. Beat
Fulton, Campbell County, and
Campbell County and Carnes, and you go to the playoffs.
Yep.
That's
it's
what they
not
did.
hard to make the playoffs.
It's not hard to make the playoffs. And, you know, I don't think the people in Clinton expect 10-0s every year. They expect to be able to go to the playoff, and they expect to be competitive. And I don't think we're either one of those right now.
Before you take that call, the problem with kids today is they want instant gratification. They can't. An 8th grader can't see going to Clinton and building a program with 12 of his buddies.
And see, that's what here's a question I get asked all the time. Well, the middle school has a good football program.
How many of those kids play the next year at that school?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know how many's on the freshman team this year, but the people, when they say that, they're right to a certain extent. Clinton Middle School has had some really good success, but it's not rolled over to the high school. But everybody's got to understand, middle school football and high school football are 2 completely different animals.
Absolutely. We'll get back on this. Let's take this guy's call.
Go ahead, Jesse. You on there?
How you doing, guys?
Doing good, man. How about you?
I just got done with 5 Star Live, our social media show, and we're pulling out of Joel Helton Field. And Central just waylaid Seymour 49-3, but that's to be expected. That game was going to be a blowout, and but
It looked like you went that way more for the red velvet cake and the Littons than you did the football game.
I did frequent Littons, and it was every bit that I thought it would be, and it was fantastic and a good way to start the night. But really, we just wanted to catch up with Central and see where they stand and during their title defense. They're now at the midway point of the season and starting to round and perform. They found a receiver tonight that I think will pay off for them down the road. And man, we talked before that 5A bracket is going to be very fun to watch with South Doyle and Powell, and if Oak Ridge can kind of get things back together, and you got West High School in there as well, and with Central kind of rounding into form, it's really going to be fun here the last month and a half of the season.
When's the last time Carnes High School's made the playoffs?
Oh boy, I don't know. I'd have to go back and do some research on that, and it's been a while, I think. And
am I right or wrong? If they beat Campbell County and they beat Clinton, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a good possibility of that. And we were talking on 5 Star Live tonight about how coming into the year we thought Fulton would be the number 4 seed coming out of that region, and I just don't think for their sake they can overcome that loss to Carnes with the teams that they have left to play. And Carnes still has some things to do, but man, they got some young talent there with Deshaun Bishop, one of their running backs, who can definitely get the job done on the ground, and they got a quarterback who's starting to learn the position a little bit better each and every week. And you never know if they sneak up and bite one more team, like you said, Jonathan. It's a good possibility of them making the postseason.
Brad Taylor's a good football coach. You could tell that tonight.
He's a very good football coach and probably doesn't get enough credit for being a good football coach. He had some excellent years there at Bearden, and there's still that one year where they lost at Smyrna in the state semifinals. And if they would have won that football game, they would have won a state championship. I have no doubt about that. So he's a great man, and I know players love playing for him, and I know he's trying to work hard to get things going out at Carnes, and that's a tough task.
The biggest rumbling we're hearing tonight, Jesse, is the Clinton fans are really upset with McCamey.
Well, I didn't get to see the final score of their game tonight, but I pretty much know that Powell won that pretty handily. And yeah, I don't know what it's going to take for Clinton to get things turned around, but you know, McCamey has proven himself as a coach and at various stops, and he's taken over a program that just isn't getting the talent that they need right now to contend.
See, that was going to be one of my defending points until I got this nasty text. I'm on hold line 2. So we got over to you. But, you know, that's what David and I were talking about a minute ago. You know, the Oak Ridge faithful and the Clinton faithful need to realize the talent level is nowhere near what it was in 1990, in 1995. It's totally different.
You got Anderson County in there in the mix. You got Campbell County in there in the mix. So there's a lot of programs just in the general vicinity that are doing big things, and it's tough you got to fight to get kids there. And when you're losing those battles out of kids coming out of middle school, and it sounds like I'm talking about college football, but it's definitely a trickle down effect from college football where high school football coaches are having to fight to get talent to not only come through their feeder system but stay in their feeder system and get it into high school and develop it at that point. So it's going to run in through cycles at various places, and right now Clinton's just not getting all the top players in that area.
Hey, Jesse, was you surprised tonight with the Greenback and Oliver Springs score?
A little bit. You think back to the meetings that they had a year ago, and I was at that regular season meeting where Oliver Springs gave Greenback every bit of what it wanted and then some. But this Greenback team has just found a different level here lately. I think there was an adjustment period with Braden Carnes coming over from Maryville and being the quarterback. And you guys know small towns and small town communities. They all grew up playing together, and they have a chemistry together. And then you inject a new guy into the quarterback position, it might take a little bit of time to develop some chemistry. And I think you're starting to see that develop now with Greenback. And when you talk about Hold Willis out at wide receiver and what he's doing this year, I mean, he's just a huge mismatch problem for the 1A level. He's 6'3", he's 200 some odd pounds, he's getting big time looks, and he's just a guy that a lot of 1A teams struggle to defend. And you got Wyatt Ruckerson, who's kind of a complementary player to him, and ever-improving Braden Carr. And so Greenback's kind of found its footing here. And I know Oliver Springs, from what I understand, got out of Dodge pretty fast, and there was kind of no love lost between those two.
Just a good old small-town rivalry.
Yeah, very, very much so. But Oliver Springs has done well this year, given some of the talent that they graduated. They've kind of exceeded my expectations of what they would look like through Week 5, even with the blowout loss tonight.
I've not seen the score roll up on our score ticker, but I know all the talk all week was Austin East going to Greenville. Do you know the final score on that game?
Yeah, Greenville blew them out pretty bad. It was a 14-0 game early on, and then Austin East fought back and got a pick 6 and tied it up at 14. But from that point on, it was all Greenville, and that's a program that you talk about finding its footing. I just think the quarterback situation there was so in flux that they didn't know really what the identity of their team was. You had a guy coming in from Catholic, you had a guy coming in from Science Hill, and then you had number 4, Blaine Ferguson, who played behind, Cade Ballard all those years, and he kind of got overlooked. And well, now he's the guy that's leading this win streak that they're back on now after losing in the season opening game at Powell. So they're putting up big numbers again, and it just seems to be a collision course that we're waiting on for Greenville and Anderson County in the state quarterfinals. Again, I'm going to say this on record, like I did on 5 Star Live a week ago. I picked that game wrong with Anderson County and South Doyle, and I did it very, very poorly. But when you look at what Anderson County has achieved this year through 5 games, and you put it next to what Greenville has achieved, if I had to pick a game right now, I'd say Anderson County's going to win that football game
what a
against
homer.
Greenville.
He's scared to death.
No, I'm not.
Don't be scared of him up there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm being completely honest. Look at what Anderson County is.
Hey, let me ask you. Go ahead.
Look what Anderson County has done compared to Greenville. And I just think right now, if they played in Week 6, Anderson County would not only win that game, but I'd predict them to win that game.
They're bringing back
they
pizza.
Don't play in Week 6. They play in the playoffs. And Greenville hasn't lost a playoff game in 3 years.
Yeah.
What about GP? Is Gallagher Pittman for real?
They are for real, and it's a very experienced team. It's a very big team, and got a big bruising running back in Bryce Akey, who's one of the area's leading rushers in terms of touchdowns, in terms of yardage. They have a highly capable quarterback who can throw for 250 and really complement the run game in J.D. Schultz as quarterback. So Derek Rang definitely has a contender in 3A this year. I fully expect them to be the number 2 seed coming out of that region behind Alcoa. And, so this could be a GP team that we see have a really nice season and make it to the state quarterfinals or beyond. We'll see.
Can they compete with Alcoa?
I don't know. Alcoa still got some questions to answer in terms of what they're going to look like on offense. We broke the story a week ago about J.R. Jones, their running back, transferring out of the program, and that's the second year in a row they've lost a running back to transfer. And last year, of course, they handled it very well, went on to win a state championship, but just did not throw the ball and look like themselves against Maryville. And they bounced back with a blowout win against Pigeon Forge tonight, and that's not really going to tell us anything. So we need to see kind of what Alcoa is going to look like here in the latter half of the year before we go ahead and crown them as a state champion. So I was not going to say they got exposed in that game over Maryville, but there was definitely some question marks that popped up with that offense.
I'll holler at you on the way home. I know why that kid's not Alcoa. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, from what I've been told, he's going to go to Powell. He lived in the Powell zone, and so that he's probably going to have to sit out a year. But
Jody Rankin's a lot like Jody Wright. If you ain't going to do it his way, you might want to find another highway.
Yeah, I've been around that before.
Look, if you're not an elite tailback like a Chris Shiverdecker or Dustin Lindsay, you're not going to get 25 carries a game at Alcoa High School. You're just not. And so they are always going to run 3 or 4 guys and stay fresh. And because when they get to that state championship round, they like to just wear the clock down and run fresh guys in and just wear their opponents down. Now, there have been years when, again, they have a Tyson wearing number 2 that they can give the ball to 40 times or 49 times, whatever it was in that game. But if they have the horses, they're going to keep them all fresh and they're going to distribute the carries. And that kid only got 1 carry against Marable and 3 receptions. So it's from what I understand, there was some unhappiness around the level of exposure that he was getting. He's already got 2 state championships, so on his dresser somewhere with 2 championship rings. So I guess maybe he wants to transfer and be the guy somewhere else. I don't know.
Real quick, like, is Loudon for real? And was it correct tonight? This is the first time West has beat Oak Ridge. Is that in Oak Ridge or period?
I don't know the history of the West Oak Ridge, so I didn't see that tweet or anything like that. But it's definitely a first for West being 5-0. It's their first 4 or 5-0 start in school history. They've always had to play Maryville at the front end of their season. So this is kind of uncharted territory for West, a program that has won state championships in the past, but never really kind of had the target go on their back throughout the season. So they're definitely one of the premier teams in 5A. And as far as your question about Loudon, they are for real. They're much like Gatlinburg-Pittman, a lot of experience, a lot of size. They got some nice skilled players. And Keaton Herrig, the sophomore quarterback, Jeff Herrig's son, is showing a nice level of maturity despite being an underclassman. And with the rest of their schedule, the way it's set up, they have a really good opportunity to be 9-1 or 10-0 going into the postseason and being the number 1 seed.
It looks like Catholics finding life is really hard in the private division.
They are, and that was not the outing that they were hoping for down at McCallie, the number 1 team in the state. And you got to remember, McCallie has beaten Brentwood Academy in each of the last 2 seasons, in 2018 and 2019. Brentwood Academy has won 4 state championships in a row. So this is a top-level Division II AAA team that Catholic was going to kind of match wits with. And here's the weakness that I saw in Catholic coming out of the preseason. They didn't have that down-the-field wide receiver threat that they've had in years past. The kid who transferred from Mid-State, Chancellor Bright, we really hadn't seen much out of him so far. They have Tommy Winton that they work in the slot and out of the backfield, but so far through 4 games, Catholic starting quarterback has 1 touchdown pass, and he's the team's leading rusher in terms of yardage and rushing touchdowns. And that's just not what you see out of a Steve Matthews offense. So they're going to have to find somebody that can stretch their offense and a little bit more vertically and stretch the defense. Otherwise, they become a little bit more one-dimensional and easier to defend.
Jesse, real quick, our lines are flashing like Christmas ornaments over here.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. Next week, I know this week was a little bit of a lull in the action. What are we looking at next week around the area?
Well, you got the Battle of Emory Road. You got undefeated Halls, and I don't think anybody expected Halls to be sitting here at 5-0 for the first time in more than 20 years, and going into week 6 of the season. And they take on a Powell team that is undefeated and only getting better with each and every week. So that'll be one of the premier games in the area. You also got Maryville and Farragut next week, which will probably be where we take our set from 5-Star Live to and see if the Admirals can shock Maryville. And I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll go look at it nonetheless. But those are probably 2 of the premier games in the area next week.
And the 2 lines on those games combined would be 70 points.
That's your words, not mine.
Just telling the truth, brother.
One quick question. What's happened to Whitwell? They won the state championship last year. They got beat again tonight.
Yeah, you guys know in those small towns sometimes it's hard to reload, and they lost their head football coach who had led them to state championships. And so it was just one of those things where he came in and built that program up real quick, and it's hard to sustain sometimes at the 1A level, especially when you lose your head football coach.
Yeah, sure is.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Go get some sleep.
Yeah. I don't know which line's next. I can't remember. Quick caller, you on there?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I think I found Clinton's problem.
What's that, bud?
You got 11 coaches. Now, what in the world do you need 11 coaches for?
I was counting tonight. I thought Carnes looked like they had a lot of coaches out there in the late part of the warm-ups, and they had 10 out there. And then I count Fulton's, and they had 9 out there. So I guess the standard high school staff has maybe 9 to 10 coaches down there.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, caller. I can't. I'm not seeing Clinton
I
play. I'll
wonder
see
how
him play
many
next week.
supplements. wonder
I
how
bet
many
there's not. I bet there's some volunteer coaches. I bet they're not all supplement.
How many coaches, real coaches, does Clinton have other than volunteers?
Rather than who?
Rather than volunteer coaches, how many coaches do they actually have?
Well, I know McCammy's one. I think the Ellis boys and line coach. I'm sure there's an offensive and defensive coordinator, and I don't know. I think one of them coaches the freshman team. He probably's there on Friday night. There's another one. I can't think of his name. Hammock. I believe Hammock's a coach. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many, but Hammock also coaches the middle school team. So I don't know. There's probably some people that bleed over this to help. I don't know.
Well, they need more than help. They need. I don't know if they're going to win a game this year.
Oh yeah, they'll probably win some games later on in the year. I mean, they should.
Which ones?
Which
ones?
Well, Fulton's going to be one that's probably going to be winnable. Campbell County's a winnable. Carnes is a winnable.
Has Carnes still got that field goal kicker to kick 60-yard field goals?
Well, they had about a 40-some yard tonight on fourth at about 14. They went for it, so I'm guessing no.
Probably not. But Carnes beat Fulton tonight, so you don't know whether you just think those games in years past have been winnable. So we'll see. Clinton goes to Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge loses tonight to a West football team that's undefeated. I don't know how they didn't look that good on TV tonight. I guess they're good enough to beat Oak Ridge. So, but then Clinton's got West the next week, and then an off week before Fulton. So maybe they get the train turned around. And all they need to do is probably win those last 3 games, and they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all they need to do.
Yeah. If they can do it.
Tonight was the first region loss. So win the next game, win all the next games, and it's good.
Campbell County's homecoming.
Yeah, Campbell County's is a home
we
game.
We don't need to lose that one.
Yeah, we probably don't, but
it's happened before.
It's happened before.
From my understanding, you get 6 paid positions on a coaching staff in Anderson County.
So, maybe some of the supplements are split up. I'm sure a freshman coach, the middle school coach probably gets paid for the middle school. So,
so that
that's
gets
probably,
you 8 right there.
That gets you 8 right there, 9 maybe. So there's probably some volunteer coaches out there. There's probably some people that was on the sideline that might look like they're a coach. It's really not a coach. It's just. Then
you got Anthony.
Then you got Anthony, so you got 12 really.
Yeah.
Anthony puts more time in than any of them.
Yep.
So all them boys listening to 11 coaches, and they don't know. They're going around circles.
I guess we'll see. I mean, I hadn't seen Clinton play this year, so I don't know.
I watched Clinton play the first quarter and a half against Anderson County, and they get the ball down there in the red zone. They don't score. Anderson County goes and scores. Kid was wide open. They get the ball back down there. I thought, well, they might tie it at 7. They don't, and then all of a sudden, it's a semi-close game at half, and Anderson County comes out, returns the opening kick, and Clinton, the losing culture, you could see it take over.
Well, most of the callers tonight have blamed the offense for Clinton's problems. I don't know if it's an offense problem or a defense problem, and I'm just being honest. I've tried to figure it out.
What about that boy that got hurt for Clinton?
Who?
That boy got hurt right in scrimmage. He was a pretty good ball player, wasn't he?
Oh, the kid that got his leg broke at Greenback. I just know there was a kid that got injured. I don't know anything.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
I don't know anything. I know there's an injury, and that's all I can tell you. I don't know nothing about it.
All right, you fellas, have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, man, we better take a break. I know we got 2 lines hot still, so stay with us, and we'll come right back and get you. We got to pay some bills. He's running in the back because I caught him off guard. Take a break, man.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
You don't think it'll happen to you twice. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado destroyed everything, again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
Griffin Insurance in Kingston is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Breaker, breaker, good buddy. We've just rolled in from Georgia with a truckload of throw rugs. That was back in my truck driving days, many years ago. Rugs are still rolling in from Georgia every month, featuring Oriental and contemporary area rugs, carpet-style throw rugs, and much more. All rugs are sold at the lowest prices possible. Find your rug at Hammer Stores.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
And welcome back to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. Glad everybody's with us, and you have been tonight. We appreciate it. 483-8112. Let's go ahead and get these calls, Cox. Quick caller, you on the air. Hey, turn your TV down, caller, and talk to us.
Hello.
Hello.
What about that Rockwood game?
Well, Mexico County is a really good football team. Wow, they're ranked what? Or number 2 or number 3? Number 2 or number 3 in the state?
Maybe it was 2. They were 2.
They're number 2 in the state. It's a good football team.
Beat a 5A team last week.
Beat a 5A team last week, so just a good football team.
Yeah, I go to Rockwood High School and everything.
Uh-huh.
And I'm good friends with John Webb.
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's my buddy.
Coach Webb's your buddy? Coach Webb's a good man.
Yeah, does he watch us?
Does he watch this? Well, I don't know whether he does or not. He's probably on the road right now coming back. I don't know. If he's got any sense, he doesn't.
Well, I heard that Rockwood was home tonight.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
I don't have any idea.
Yep.
Well, maybe if he's
he might be watching.
He might be watching then.
He might be washing uniforms too.
Yep, I'm sure he's probably at the field house scratching his head trying to figure out what happened. Maybe. All right, caller, we got to go. We got to get to the next line.
All right.
Nice to see you.
Bye.
Quick caller, you on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was calling about the Trenton game tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think the problem is? I know y'all said you think it's offense or defense, but I think it's a head coaching job, really. I mean, you can't really put that on the kids. They really want to win, and my son plays for Clinton, but they're just not winning. It's not fun anymore. This ain't real Clinton football. I mean, I'm a Clinton resident, and I overheard all the previous callers, which we take a single-A coach that was in private school, playing midway and sub-right, et cetera, and passed on Kevin Lane at Catholic along with Carson Newman coach, plus state champion Derek Long. Small-town politics and Clinton got McCamey. Sure, Big Joe got him the job, but these kids deserve better, and blaming the talent is hard to swallow. I think we need to give these kids a chance with a coach with a resume. I dare you to pull his staff's resume after Jesse's comments. I'm unsubscribing the subscription to 5-star. These Clinton kids have no leader or player development. I think it's sad that what they're going through.
What was the small town politics? Because the city of Clinton doesn't have anything to do with Clinton High School.
I think Big Joe got him the job. That's the only reason he got the job.
Big Joe who?
I can't say no names.
I don't know who Big Joe is. So.
Well, I just think that them kids deserve better. It ain't the offense or the defense; it's the head coach.
Well, I mean, when you're trying to, if you're if you're looking at the program, you're trying to figure out maybe is the problem on offense or is the problem on defense, and so you don't really know.
I think it's the head coach.
You think it's a head coach?
Yeah, I think we need a new coach.
So, caller, I want to make sure I understood you right. Do you think Clinton's got enough talent to consistently win a lot of football games?
I think he hung up. He didn't want to have to. I don't know who Big Joe is. I think I know who he's talking about, but he hung up, so maybe he'll call back.
I know who the caller is. I just want to know if they actually think that.
Listen, you Clinton people don't need. There's no reason calling down here and getting on us about it. Call Tim Parrott. He's the school superintendent. Put the heat on him. Don't put the heat on me. But I'm going to say this much. It's not the city of Clinton's. City of Clinton don't have anything to do with this. It's a county school. City of Clinton only goes K through 6. We don't have a football team. There's just 2 county schools located inside the city limits of Clinton. And that's the extent of it. Tim Parrott.
We're not saying anything about the kids. It's at the end of the day.
Well, no.
The talent level is not what it used to be.
When I sit here and look, you try to see if it's an offensive scheme or a defensive scheme. It's not necessarily the players. If the players are not being coached, it doesn't really matter on the offensive side or defense if they're not being coached either way, and that's what he seems to indicate. I don't know that. I'm not at a practice every day, so it would be a little, but what I meant by what I said is I'm trying to figure out which side of the ball is the problem. Is there a problem on one side or the other? And it seems like the ringing question tonight is the offensive side of the football. But if you've listened, and I'm sure that caller's been to a lot of games this year, if he's got a son that actually plays, Clinton's offense has played good at times. Defense has played good at times. So I don't know.
I understand what they're saying about the wing tee. I get that. I understand. There's probably not. There's less than 10% schools across the state that run the wing tee. I totally get. I understand that. They had a very talented young man last year that I watched play football at Clinton. I think he was number 3, last name Washington, maybe. Mm-hmm. I mean, that kid was very talented.
Well, if you're going to run the wing tee, you have to have a really stout defense, and you got to have a defense that really,
you got to have the right players.
You got to have the right personnel. Yeah. You got to have. And you got to, as a coach, you've got to be able to put a game plan in, and it's got to work. So understand what the caller's talking about to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But as somebody that's a fan that watches the game, you try to figure out if a team's having problems, what side of the ball they're having the most problems on, what needs to be fixed. And right now, I couldn't tell you what needs to be fixed at Clinton because I think it's on both sides of the football. I'm not saying it's the kids. There's a problem somewhere. I don't know what it is.
And they played a really good football team tonight.
Played a good football team.
If you look at the schedule and who they've played right now, Anderson County, they're a good playoff team. Probably not going to lose another game the remainder of the season.
Probably not.
Beat a really good South Dole team and played a PAL team close for 3 quarters. You look at CAK. CAK, are they still undefeated?
They were, I think.
They won tonight.
They did, so they're probably still undefeated. Listen, let me say
Halls
something
is
about,
undefeated.
Let me say something
Meigs County's undefeated.
Let me say something about South Doyle. I wasn't impressed with South Doyle last week neither.
They didn't have their start quarterback.
I know they didn't, but I still wasn't impressed with them. I mean, I didn't think. I mean, sure they got a running back, but I wasn't impressed with them. I just really wasn't. Good caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I heard that one in ours, the football coach, is the principal of the school.
Well, the one that oversees the principal of the school is the superintendent of the school.
What, you understand what now? A principal's a football coach? Is that what you said?
No, he said he understands the principal hires the football coach.
Well, that's technically true, but the principal's probably not going to fire nobody and not unless the superintendent okays it. That's how that works.
And they're probably not going to hire anybody unless
And they're probably not going to hire anybody not unless the superintendent okays it. So that's how the system works.
You fellas have a good one. Thanks
All
a lot.
right.
See you, bye.
Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, Mr. Cox. I'm an old man from up here in La Follette and played softball with your dad for years.
I'm
Peggy
sorry.
Wiggly. You was talking to Jamie Chadwell there. You speak with him again and ask him when he's going to change Coastal Carolina's colors to Kentucky blue. He was always a big Kentucky basketball fan, and of course my family and their family's been friends for years, and I'm originally from Boone, North Carolina, and we're big Tar Heel fans, and we always went on and on when Tar Heels and Kentucky locked it up, you know.
Growing up, there was nobody. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I heard him talking about going to Boone next week. I would love to be able to go up there and watch them play at Appalachian State, but health's kind of let me down a little bit and everything. But Campbell County, I was going to tell you, they're 3-2 this year instead of 2-3. They beat Cobb County, Carter, and Seymour.
Oh, that's right. They did beat Seymour, didn't they?
Yes, but they're young. They're real young. I don't get to go watch them much, but I know a couple of fellas that does, and they're sophomores and juniors and very few seniors. But they're the Price twins. They'll make them get better, and that'll be some good games there at the end. Clinton, Carnes, and I'll let you go. I was wanting one comment, and I will listen to it, and I'll hang up. What's happened to Fulton football? One other thing. I'm sorry. My son lives up in Greenville. He played baseball at Tusculum for 4 years, and he stayed up there and got married and stayed up there, and he's been up there about 20 years, and he said that Greenville they're as tough as ever. They just had to get a few kinks lined out and everything, but I'm pretty sure it'll be Anderson County and Greenville again. But I was just wondering how they determine who has the home field advantage on that.
That rotates. I'll let you hang up and we'll answer the question.
I'll hang up and listen to you, buddy. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir. Good talking to you.
Tell your daddy howdy, okay?
Yes, sir, I will. Thank
Goodbye,
you.
buddy.
I'll try to address these in the order he asked them. Fulton football right now is probably, and I guess everybody gets up in arms when you call a spade, but it's probably the least amount of talent I have witnessed on a Fulton football team in 14 years. When you run a bubble screen, you've got a guy that can break 2 tackles and run it 80 yards, it makes a coach look really good. It's like calling a play for Jalen Steele versus calling a play for somebody who can't score.
True.
When you got somebody that can, and no matter basketball, football, baseball, whoever it is, when you got somebody that's a special talent, it makes a coach look better. And I'm a coach, so I can say that. But Fulton football just does not have a playmaker on the field. Then they lost 22 seniors last year. So between the inexperience and the lack of playmakers, and then getting hit hard by losing kids to Powell and Catholic, you start feeling the effect when you are a 4A school that plays 5A football because you can't afford to play 4A football because you can't afford to go to, Greenville or Chattanooga, whichever way they're going to send you. So you suffer from that. I mean, Carnes, they're notoriously bad. But they had 71 kids dressed out tonight.
Wow. That's big.
And that's a school
that
has been notoriously bad in football. I mean, there was years Carnes weren't winning a football game. But their numbers with Coach Taylor are pretty good. So that's...
And Carnes is a pretty big school, though, too.
I don't know the number. I would say at least 1,500 to 1,600.
Yeah,
well,
at least.
I would say probably, I'd say 1,500
I'd say,
to 1,600
yeah,
kids.
it's a big school.
And I think they got a little bigger when some of those Hard Valley kids got pushed back to Carnes. So pretty big school there. But that's sort of the Fulton story. And what was his other question? His last question? Man, oh man. The Price boys will get
Yeah, about Campbell County, it's a young football team. He said he thought they'd be all right.
And they will be.
And they will be.
And they will be.
And they will be.
Yeah.
Let's get this other caller. Been on hold for a while. Go ahead, caller. You on the air?
Hey, how you doing, the guys?
Doing good.
I'd like to thank you guys. Y'all do an awesome job.
Appreciate it.
I just want to comment on some of this Clinton stuff. I know y'all been bombarded with calls from Clinton.
Yep.
I really think Clinton's got the players and got the talent. I mean, I think the Clintons had them years and years down the road. It's just there's no player development there. And they lose players to Anderson County. The Stone Hatmaker kid, I mean, he's a Clinton kid. He's at Clinton Middle School and transferred to AC. I don't know, Randy. I mean, I think he's done the best he can do with what he's got. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they passed on some very good coaching candidates on this hire, and I just think it's a little bit over his head. I'd like to hear y'all's feedback on that. And Clinton is in a tough region. I mean, it's really a tough region to play in, but I think they got it. I mean, you got to spread the ball around and move it around. Heck, when Kerr was there, they were scoring 50 points a game. Just couldn't play defense. So I'm anxious to hear what you all got to think about.
I don't know who was your son. I don't know who all the coaching candidates.
Yeah,
were,
I'm not educated.
I'm not educated on that part, and I live in Clinton, so I don't really know.
Derek Rain,
good football coach.
He was a candidate. Clowney from Carson Newman, I think he was their offensive coordinator. He was a candidate. Kevin Lane at Catholic, I think he's their defensive coordinator at this time. He was a candidate. And then, Randy just come in late. I know how the other caller mentioned politics. I mean, I ain't afraid to tell you who the Joe was. It was Joe Hollingsworth. Joe Hollingsworth been on the 10 building up there. They were trying to get up, and, we got the building now. Let's get a good coach.
Heard that.
I want y'all to comment and be anxious to hear what you guys got to say.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I think
that's who I thought it was, but I wasn't for sure.
I think one thing that, Kerr, if you look back at his days, the young man that was the quarterback there for maybe 3 of his years went on to play college football.
Carson Newman.
Newman.
Thackerson. And Thackerson's brother, he's just a sophomore. That's who's took over the offense right now. And there's going to be some growing pains with him. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to, you take these teams that's got a quarterback that's been there for 2 or 3 years. That coach would much rather have that quarterback that's been there 2 or 3 years than a sophomore. Nothing against a sophomore, because they'll all have to start somewhere, but Clinton's taking some licks right now. I don't know about all the candidates. The only candidate that I knew that he actually mentioned was the Carson Newman, but I understood his wife didn't want to move to Clinton.
And I didn't think he was a certified teacher either.
Maybe he wasn't. But now I didn't know about are we talking about the same coach that's at GP right now?
Derek Rain. Yeah, he's a GP coach.
Well,
I don't know.
If that's the case, that would have been that'd been a top hire.
State championship coach. He's won a state championship.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I did not know he interviewed.
I don't know do you know the Lane guy they're talking about at Catholic?
No, but, I mean, Catholic's defense, I've watched Catholic play a lot of football because Fulton's played them throughout the last 5 to 6 years. Their defense has never impressed me. Their offense is what Steve Matthews can call ball plays. As Jesse said tonight about, that's not his style. I mean, tonight they gave up 56 points to McCall, and they've got talent. They got a lot of talent.
You wonder what the people at Catholic's thinking right now.
Yeah.
Because they're probably paying them coaches some good money over. I bet Matthews probably don't even teach a class.
They've got 2 5-star guys on defense.
Yeah. Well, I just tell the people of Clinton, get out and support your football team. Come to Oak Ridge next week, support them because
it's sad.
It's not over. We're 0-5, and maybe they win the next 5. Who knows? I don't know.
It's sad that game next week, as you've said for years, and I like how you say it. It's bad that it's not a rivalry anymore.
It's not.
I mean, they dominate the series. Clinton comes in 0-5, and that's Clinton fans are frustrated, and they should be. They had a great football coach, and they had a lot of talent when Gaylor was around.
And there's been Clinton's,
and they've had some good years.
Clinton's has had a good football program in the past, but it's just like we have fell on hard times, and and that last caller called in, or a caller maybe or 2 before said something about kids that's supposed to be at Clinton or at Anderson County. I don't know. Go to your school. Go to the Anderson County School Board and make them put lines up. If you live here, you got to go to school here. Maybe that's what needs to happen.
I think
that's probably. I'm sure there's a lot of teams in Knoxville like that right now.
Liquid lines. That's what we call it.
Liquid lines. So,
Dave, here's the big picture. Okay, I'm going to bring up the big picture for the Clinton fan, and these lines might light up. But if you have a son, and he plays baseball and football, or basketball and football, or basketball and baseball, are you going to send him to the place that's got the one best program, or are you going to send him to the place where he's going to get the best experience for both of them?
If we're playing multiple sports, I want where he gets the best of both. Here's a way to solve it all. Let me tell you. Can tell you how to solve it all? Consolidate them schools. Put Clinton and Anderson County together, and that's it. It's the way it's supposed to be anyway.
Because I'll go back.
Somebody step up and do it.
I'll go back years. When this all started changing, I'm going to get on my soapbox. When this all started changing, Anderson County had Mark Eldridge coaching basketball, had Larry Kerr coaching football, and had Mike Gwynn coaching baseball when this all started.
Yep.
And there was kids coming to Anderson County to play multiple sports and get one of those 3 guys. Mike Gwynn has won a state championship. Larry Kerr has won a state championship. Mark Eldridge has won a state championship. Right. And at one time, all 3 of those guys were there.
At Anderson County.
It changed the culture of Anderson County sports. Then Davey Gillum takes over the football program, and Ben Downs is running the baseball program, and both of those were still thriving, and Gillum's not looked back. And the kid that lives across the bridge that has the opportunity to go play a couple sports, he's going to Anderson County. And if you're a parent, how do you blame them?
You don't. And I really like Coach Gillum a lot. I mean, if you'll just talk to him at any length of time, you'll automatically become a fan of his. I mean, he's just he's a really good guy.
He's humble. He's a good coach.
I like Coach Terry too, and there's some good guys up there. That's a good coaching staff, and that coaching staff, man, we keep saying this. We say this a lot right here. Look at the coaching staffs right here that stays together. A coaching staff that stays together, those teams win. I mean, people want to know why Coalfield's so good. Go down there and look at that coaching staff. It's the same coaching staff every year.
Yep.
It's the same coaching staff at Maryville, same coaching staff at AC. I guarantee you it is.
Absolutely. And
I mean, at Fulton, even though Fulton's losing right now, it's pretty much the same coaching staff. There's probably not been but 1 or 2 changes in all those years that Robbie Black's been there. It's the same people. So when you stay together, it's the same message.
I was doing a gym floor quote this week, and I ran into Clark Duncan, and I said, Coach, how hard was it to play Anderson County without your starting quarterback? He said, well, it was rough. He said, I've been coaching football for a long time, and I don't know if I've run up against a better defensive game plan than Jonathan had last week. That's a guy that's been coaching football for a long time.
A long time.
A long, long time.
A well-respected football coach.
And that's a guy that took an SEC running back up there, and he got his 100-some yards, but they weren't going to let him beat him on big plays.
No.
And
well, I think they shut down everything else and just said, you're going to get what you get.
Go ahead and get your 150.
Get you 150.
Yeah.
Get you a couple touchdowns, but you're not going to get out here until let's get these lines. Quick caller, you're on the air. Quick caller.
Yeah, Mr. Aldridge from Campbell County again. The last question was, how do they determine who gets the home field?
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
I know last year Greenville was number 1 and Anderson County number 2 in the rankings, and Anderson County got home field. I was just wondering how they determine that. I'm going to hang up.
We'll tell you then. All right, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you are.
Okay, state rankings have nothing to do with that. Actually, Anderson County was number 1 in their region. Greenville was number 1 in their region.
Right.
The state rankings have nothing to do with it. What your seed is in your region determines if you're home or away versus 1, 2, 3, 4 that make the playoff. Greenville hosted number 1 Anderson County 2 years ago. So last year, number 1 Greenville had to travel to number 1 Anderson County.
This year to be reversed.
This year to be reversed. So it's odd and even. Last year was an odd even. Region 1 hosted, or 2 years ago, Region 1. Last year, Region 2. This year goes back to Region 1. So it rotates every other year.
Every other year.
On how that goes. So the state rankings have nothing to do with that. And you're right. I'm sorry, I forgot to answer that question.
Quick caller, you on the air.
Rockwood versus Harriman next week. Who do you think's gonna win?
Ooh, I don't have any idea. Just to be honest with you, it ought to be a good football game. It always is.
Yeah.
Is that the 100th meeting?
Hey, Brad. That's one of the longest rivalries, isn't it? Harriman and Rockwood.
100th meeting.
100th meeting. I remember a few years ago we done the game at Harriman and Rockwood was down, and Rockwood came back, and Coach Webb told the team at halftime if they came back and won that football game, he'd walk home to Rockwood, and he did. So there's no telling who's gonna win that game. Harriman got their first win tonight. Rockwood lost tonight, so put the ball. Where's it even at? I don't even know where it's at.
That game will be played at Harriman.
It's at Harriman, so maybe advantage Harriman. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say if anyone's from Rockwood and they're watching this show, call in and talk to you all, and they might know Johnny Lunsford. I don't know. That's me, but I just wanted them to call in and talk to you all.
All right, but we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Johnny's become a big fan tonight.
Yeah, I think Rockwood wins that football game.
And they very well might. It's one of those rivalry games that I don't know what the actual series is number wise, but I'm sure somebody does out here. But it's one of those games that you don't ever know. I mean, you just play the game. So 483-8112. We got a little lull in action, and we're going to take a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low price. Race on down!
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods. Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
You don't think it'll happen to you twice. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado destroyed everything, again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
Griffin Insurance in Kingston is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Welcome back to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. Glad you're with us. 483-8112. Give us a call, and we'll talk high school football with you, or we'll move on here in just a few minutes to college and talk the big game tomorrow, Tennessee at Florida, 12 o'clock kickoff. We'll talk about that game here in just a little bit. But
do we have to?
Yes, we have to. We have to talk about it just for a little bit. Look here, Tennessee won. Oh, that's Tennessee. I'm sorry. I thought they'd already played the game. I got a little excited. I say Tennessee put 42.
I saw Tennessee then 42, and I knew something was wrong.
I heard that. So, but I thought, Tennessee might have kicked it off a little earlier. But
Larry Curry gets a big win tonight, 27-20 over Sullivan East.
Hey, somebody says he's really got a nice-looking football field up there, too. Got the turf down now.
Baseball's got turf, too, don't they?
But I don't know if they do or not.
Coach Warwick don't have.
I don't know. What's his name?
Josh.
Yeah,
Warwick.
Josh Warwick.
Warwick.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He gets about anything he wants up there, what I understand.
Well, I heard the mayor of Clinton. Well, not the mayor of the fair, Steve Queener, sort of helps Josh out with the turf up there in the football field.
He probably does.
Up at.
He probably does. He probably does. So.
I wonder if our veterans listen tonight. She hadn't been texting me.
I don't know.
She probably still up giddy about her Garth Brooks tickets.
Did she get any?
Oh, she was getting them. I got a full-time job, and it turned into making sure the vet had Garth Brooks tickets.
Oh, okay.
It'd be anything I've ever seen. Well, she'll tell you she's on the 6th row. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, hey, she was going to Garth Brooks, no matter what.
Stand on the sidewalk and listen, or what? That'd be the cheaper way, probably.
Yeah.
Just go stand on the sidewalk and
now
listen.
She's got reservations at Ruth Chris.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, free ride over there.
Free ride over. And
Jody's taking them. Steve's picking them up.
Well, good
It'd
for
be
them.
anything I've ever seen.
483-8112. Give us a call if you want to talk a little high school football. What's left of it, we'll talk about. We'll recap. A lot of teams scored a lot of points tonight. I'll say that. I guess the hot topic tonight's been Clinton football. Start the year off 0-5, and we'll just see what happens the next couple of weeks. Tough road to go. They got Oak Ridge and West. Be a matter of fact, they got Oak Ridge and West before they even go back home to play the last 3 games of the year.
Tell you another good football game that was not brought up by Jesse is that Jefferson County-Anderson County game. I think Anderson County will win that football game, but that's a good football game next Friday night at home.
Is that okay? Let's get this call. Quick call, you on the air.
Hey, Dave, I got something I want to say. It don't matter who you are, where you come from, if everybody plays as a team, together, everybody will achieve more.
That's right.
Okay.
Go out there, play football, have fun, and everybody will win.
So that's what Tennessee needs to do tomorrow. Go out there and play football.
Tennessee going to get beat. Tennessee going to get beat.
Don't make some ridiculous prediction, though.
All right, 35-17.
That's not bad. Tennessee 35.
Not ridiculous.
Tennessee.
It could be worse.
Tennessee 35, Florida 17.
Wrong.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. I'm sorry.
No, 35-17. I said Tennessee's going to get beat.
Oh, I didn't hear you say. I thought you said Tennessee 35, Florida 17.
No, Lord no.
Okay. All right.
But
Caller, you building those Diet Cokes? You building those Diet Cokes tonight?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. All right.
I got you.
That's the best. But anyway, I'm going to have my Diet Dr. Pepper bar and my popcorn. Sit back and watch the game, watch them get beat.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Go Vols. I hope you win.
All right.
Ain't happening.
All right.
It ain't.
See you.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, y'all have good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether you're going or not. Yeah, or what? So, quick call, you're on the air.
Hey,
Johnny.
Johnny. Hey, it's Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, I wanted the people that calls in say hi, Johnny.
Hi, Johnny. All right, Johnny.
Can we give Johnny a shout out on the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, hi, Johnny. We'll see you, Johnny. Got to go. All right, Johnny. Everybody say hi to Johnny. Wave at Johnny. Let's wave at Johnny. Hey, Johnny! Yay! Woo! Johnny.
Go, Johnny, go.
Must be a big Rockwood fan. Likes Coach Webb. Coach Webb is a good guy. That's somebody that's good to like. Probably, and Coach Webb probably takes care of him, too. So that's
Coach
good,
Webb
too.
should call in and say hi to Johnny.
Yeah, no, Coach Webb ain't calling. He got beat tonight, and he wouldn't call probably anyway. So, but anyway, week 5's in the book. I don't know. I'm trying to just think if something's really got my eye right now that's got me. Halls being 5-0, West undefeated, Fulton 0-5. Yeah, undefeated. All right, yeah. But they did come back in that game, though.
Yeah.
Put 20 points on the board.
Yep, came back, couldn't get a stop. Fulton went 8 quarters without forcing a punt. 2 against Powell, that's 3rd, 4th. A didn't punt, and Carnes didn't punt in the first.
Well, you know, you're just not going to win many. You're not going to win many football games like that. And I've went to a lot of Fulton football games back in the day, and wow, it's just hard to believe that this.
That's a good coaching staff. They need to get some talent back, some playmakers, and they'll be perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, and losing 22 seniors and it's no experience.
Yeah.
Quick call, you're on the air. Just say God bless everybody, and I want everybody to say hi, Johnny, when they call in.
Okay. We got you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay.
So,
how much longer we got?
I guess we're a little lull here in the action. What do you think tomorrow? You think Tennessee has a chance to go in there and score a touchdown?
Here's what I'll advise you not to do. Don't go bet money on Tennessee to lose tomorrow.
Don't go bet money.
Don't go bet money on Tennessee to lose tomorrow. They will break your heart and take your money. Don't bet on them to win. Just watch the football game like he's going to do in Harriman with a Diet Dr. Pepper and popcorn, he said. Don't bet on Tennessee tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked one bit if they didn't go to Florida and pull an upset.
Oh, I'm so glad you're back on the show.
Seriously, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be shocked one bit if they don't go to Florida tomorrow and pull an upset. I'm not saying they're going to win. I just said I wouldn't be shocked. Because they'll break your heart if you bet against them, and they'll break your heart if you bet for them. So, I mean, come on. Look,
Where are we going?
Look, Florida's not that good, Cox.
Oh, me.
Florida's not that
But
good.
we're really bad.
Well, we might really be bad, but Florida's not that good.
Dan Mullen's a good football coach. Though.
I don't care how good a football coach is, but Florida is not that good of a football team.
Oh, me.
They're not. Did you watch them play Kentucky the other night? Come on, Florida is not that good of a football team.
I'm not sure Garantano finishes the football game tomorrow.
I thought the offensive line played a little bit better last week, and I know who they were playing, but I thought the offensive line played a little bit better. What really concerns me about Tennessee football is no depth at running back and no depth at quarterback. That does concern me a lot. That we don't have anybody in the pipeline that's even close, because it's evident that the two kids they played after him last week to come in and do some mop-up duty and in between, they're horrible. I don't even know how they got a scholarship.
Well,
yeah, I do too, but I mean, I don't know how they had to sell them. They must have been great high school football players.
Oh. You know Garantano.
Yeah.
And then you got is it Mar or Mar? How you say it?
I don't know who. I can't.
Okay,
whoever.
so you got those two. The next guy that they offered and got on campus was 3-36 as a starter in high school. He threw more interceptions than he did touchdowns, and the only other college scholarship offer he had in FBS was Hawaii. And when he committed, the Martinez kid decommitted and went to Nebraska. All under the tutelage of Butch Jones. Brad's uncle.
Brad's uncle. We'll blame it on Brad.
Little Lyle.
But anyway, there's.
Think about that.
I understand. Yeah, but Ron Berry used to always have a really good. Ron Berry, and I used to argue with him, just to be arguing with him. When you've got a really good staple of quarterbacks and you have a tough competition all summer, and you come out of summer camp, get ready for the season start, and one of them loses, one of them's gone the next year anyway. They won't hang around.
And the way the NCAA is, it's like, Tito must play.
That's
just
right.
Transfer. Just go. Yeah,
man.
You're eligible.
Get in the portal, transfer, and go on. But that, you just don't. Kids don't hang around very long now. So I don't know if Tennessee has a chance to win tomorrow. You've always got a chance. Heck, we've not even kicked the football off yet, so they've got a chance. But it could be 40-0 tomorrow. That wouldn't shock me neither. But it wouldn't shock me if the game was 14-7. Florida, or it wouldn't shock me if the game was 14-7 Tennessee or 10-7.
31-10 Florida.
31-10 Florida.
It is funny though, a team as bad as Tennessee that loses to Georgia State. They should have beat BYU, which BYU beat USC.
Let me ask this question.
Okay.
If Tennessee wins, and they didn't, if Tennessee wins the first two games and wins last week, and they're 3-0 right now, would you be talking different going to Florida than you are right now? Would you be saying Tennessee has a chance to go to Florida and win? Now, it's a simple yes or no.
I'm going to say 100% yes.
Okay.
But here's the reason why. At that point of being 3-0, you have a winning culture and you think you can win. Right now they have a losing culture and they are hoping to win.
Well, we started that winning culture last week and won that game last week, so that's a start in the right direction.
And
now we build on it. Now we win this Saturday, and then the next Saturday we might get that game.
Yeah, just go ahead and get tickets to Atlanta.
That's a lot of Tennessee fans think that. They think it every year.
Just get those orange goggles on and get to
on.
Atlanta. Yeah.
They do, man.
I got a buddy the same way.
Quick, caller, you on there.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, what?
Oh, here we go.
I thought you said you were going to quit.
Do what?
I thought you said you were going to quit.
I did quit.
I brought him back out of retirement.
I had to have some help, so I
brought
came
him
back
back
to help
out of
him.
retirement. Anthony, I paid him $5,000 a Friday night to show up down here because you wouldn't take $4,500.
Well,
no. Not doing it.
Hey, by the way, what were you doing hanging out in the McDonald's down there in Clinton the other day with Quentin? Were you trying to get some free food out of him?
No, I was talking football.
He's a hard-working man. You were interrupting him.
No, I didn't.
How did you do tonight?
Not good. We lost 48-7.
Wow.
Do you think Powell was good?
Yeah, they are. They're really good.
Did they look faster than did Powell look faster than Clinton?
Yeah.
They did. Did they look
Yeah.
bigger than Clinton?
Yes.
Did they look stronger?
Yes.
So you think they were more talented?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we can beat Oak Ridge.
You think you can beat Oak Ridge?
Yeah. I
Did you know David rides the bus to the Oak Ridge games with Joe Gaddis?
Yes. I know.
And he did tonight and they lost. You think he'll be on there next week?
No.
Oh.
You got that right.
That means the Dragons have a chance.
Got a chance.
They got a chance.
What about Tennessee tomorrow, Anthony?
I really think 24-17.
Who?
Florida.
24-17 Florida.
You might have finally picked a game right.
Give me your score next week.
We will win.
Give me your score next week for Oak Ridge, Clinton.
I think 35-21.
The Ridgers?
No, Clinton.
Wow, the Dragons. What do you mean he's a Dragon?
Oh, that's right.
All right, Anthony, thank you, buddy.
He'll probably be up there leading music with
Probably
Carrie,
will be.
Carrie Sunday.
Quick call, you're on there.
Hey, it's me again. I had to comment on the Florida-Tennessee game, Mr. Queener.
All right, go ahead.
I believe the worst thing in the world that could have happened to Tennessee was Florida's number one quarterback being hurt and watching that backup come in. He's a junior, had been at Florida. He could have transferred, and he didn't, and it was just a whole different Florida team when he come into the game. I'll hang up and listen to you again.
All right, thank you, man. Yeah, but this,
What do you know?
funny.
Somebody was loyal to a program, and they're surprised he stayed.
This time last year, this guy, I don't know his name, the guy that's your quarterback right now, they were in competition. They said he had beat out the quarterback that got hurt.
Yeah.
He beat him out, but he got hurt.
Ooh.
So Franks got the job, finished it out, and so now Franks is hurt. He gets I guess turnabout worked out.
Well, I agree with the caller. It seems like we've got a bad record against backup quarterbacks. But in the last 10 years, we got a bad record against a lot of people.
We're in that same slump at Clinton's in. Tennessee is.
So if you're a Clinton/Tennessee fan, if you're a volunteer Dragon,
you're suicidal tomorrow.
Yeah, you're looking for Garth Brooks tickets.
You're looking for Garth Brooks tickets. Tell you what, let's take another break. We'll be right back just in a few minutes. We'll see if anybody's going to call us or not. We'll be right back.
Breaker, good buddy. We've just rolled in from Georgia with a truckload of throw rugs. That was back in my truck driving days, many years ago. Rugs are still rolling in from Georgia every month, featuring Oriental and contemporary area rugs, carpet-style throw rugs, and much more. All rugs are sold at the lowest prices possible. Find your rug at Hammer Stores.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Hello?
That's how some people do things.
Right away.
To us, everything we do is personal. Because anyone can answer the call. It's who shows up that matters most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Griffin Insurance is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
And welcome back to the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. We're wrapping things up here pretty quickly. If you're going to call, give us a call at 483-8112, and we'll be more glad to talk to you. Week 5, high school football is in the books. Who's the TV game next week, Brad?
Rockwood Harriman.
Rockwood Harriman.
Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell.
Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell. That's a big game.
100th meeting.
100th meeting. No telling who will win that football game. I would suggest you show up early and get you a good seat, and I'm sure there'll be a good crowd on both sides. That's a big rivalry game. That's the game of the week on Channel 12. So, Cox, what did you say you thought Tennessee score would be? 31-17?
I think 31-10 Gators.
Oh, 31-10 Gators.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Tennessee have a hard time scoring.
24-21, Tennessee.
Can we get Rocky Top queued up for when we go off the air?
I'm sure we can. That's happened before down here. But just to look at a high school score tonight that really shocked you.
I'm surprised how bad Greenback dominated Oliver Springs. I can't even believe that I watched Carnes beat Fulton. And the last one, I guess, is the fact that, and I got a text, West had never beat Oak Ridge.
Never? Or never, just not at Oak Ridge? Never?
Had never. Yeah.
Wow. Is Red Bank a team that Anderson County's got to play eventually? Is Red Bank, are they in the same?
Red Bank, are they not 3A?
Yeah, they might be 3A instead of instead of 4A. I just seen where they put 62 points on the board now. East Hamilton, Chattanooga Central there, Cleveland. Wow.
Yeah. But what
I was going to say Fulton. I mean, that was the Oliver Springs thing really did stun me, but I had heard that the running back for Oliver Springs was hurt, and that really does put a damper on it. But it's got to be the next man mentality and stand, and, get up and let's go. But when you're going to go to Greenback, you better take your horses. You don't need to lead none of them in the barn.
That's a hard place to play. You've told me that before.
It is a hard place to play. It's a great place to go watch a football game. It's a place that ought to be on everybody's bucket list to go to, just to see for the atmosphere. I mean, when you say they got the home field advantage down there, they got the home field advantage down there. it's no different going to Cofield and playing, that if you go to Cofield and play, the home field advantage is for Cofield because the stands are on the home side or so close to the field. You can hear the people in the stands talking from standing down on the sidelines. That's how close you are. So those are two really good places to go. Blankenship's another hard place to play. Harris County, Clinton's has been, but it's not recently. But I don't know, next week's game between Clinton and Oak Ridge, it could be interesting.
Yeah, I think if Clinton can put some points on the board against Oak Ridge, I don't think Oak Ridge offense is going to be one of those offenses that scares you. But, that could be the first 1 to 10 wins.
You're right. Well, I just think on Clinton's case, they just need to put a pretty good game plan together and maybe, execute that game plan. I think if that's the case, then it could be a fairly good football game.
The callers say they've got talent.
That's what they're saying. I mean, I've not seen.
They know better than we do.
You're exactly right. They sure do. I'm going to see them next Friday night. I'll see that game next Friday night. I'll get to watch it first time.
I know Jefferson County, Anderson County next Friday night.
Jeff County, Anderson County next Friday.
I want to see the Hatmaker kid, play.
Well, I can tell you this much: Jeff County is a big physical football team, and I think they sort of take after the mentality of their head football coach. He's a pretty big-sized guy himself.
Yep.
I mean, ex-UT football player. I can't remember his name, but he's played football at UT, and he's got Jeff County in the right way right now.
Going in the right direction. I got smoked by West.
I want to see next week if is Halls for real or is Powell for real. Let's see.
I'll give you 28 points for Hoskins.
28 points for Hoskins.
Yeah, for lunch at Hoskins.
Well,
I'll take Powell minus 28.
No, you can give me Powell and 28.
Yeah.
Halls might go over and win that game.
Yeah, okay.
Might.
They might.
He played the Jet Cox.
They might.
Any final thoughts?
It's been a good show. Thanks for calling. Thanks for watching.
Appreciate you calling. Everybody calling tonight. Man, kept us busy from the time we plugged in to the time we're going to unplug.
Let's get some Rocky Top going, and we'll
until next week. We'll see you right back here next Friday night at 10 o'clock or right after the OEB game of the week. Rockwood and Harriman, the 100th meeting. We'll be right back here on the 5-Star Prep Friday night scoreboard. There's the upcoming schedule. Like I said, it is hard to believe that we're going to be in Game 6 next week. And we're counting them down. It won't be long. It'll be playoffs. There's some really, before we go, let's just look at that. There's some really good games on that schedule. I mean, really good games. Cofield and Oliver Springs. There's some good games on that left on that schedule. The Fulton Clinton game, somebody could get a win that night, possibly.
Somebody's going to get a win.
Somebody's going to get a win that night. Oak Ridge and Mount Juliet. Earlier on in the year, I didn't think too much about that game, but Mount Juliet's not been playing too bad. I don't know what happened tonight with Mount Juliet, but that'll be a pretty good football game. So, man, when you make the schedule out, you never know what the records are going to be at this time of year. So
that's your Brad Jones.
That's your Brad Jones. So we'll just have to wait and play them, and they'll be a good game. But tune in next Friday night. I believe they pregame at 7 o'clock. And listen to those guys. Are doing a great job this year, and as usual. And join that game, Rockwood Harriman, the longest rivalry in the state of Tennessee, the oldest rivalry in the state of Tennessee, and catch that game. Catch us following that game right here next Friday night. We'll be right here at 10 o'clock on the 5-Star Prep Friday Night Scoreboard. We'll see you next Friday.
Good night.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Hello?
That's how some people do things.
Right away.
To us, everything we do is personal. Because anyone can answer the call. It's who shows up that matters most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Griffin Insurance is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Hello?
That's how some people do things.
Right away.
To us, everything we do is personal. Because anyone can answer the call. It's who shows up that matters most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Griffin Insurance is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman.
We are the Oak Ridge High School cheerleaders here at
ORUD getting fired up for tonight's game. O-A-K-R-I-D-G-E.
O-A-K-R-I-D-G-E. O-A-K-R-I-D-G-E. O-A-K-R-I-D-G-E.
ORUD can help you clean up after the game with the reliability of a natural gas water heater and the energy savings from a gas dryer.
Host your friends in style when entertaining this football season with natural gas appliances purchased from ORUD at 0% interest.
Want to cozy up next to a natural gas fire pit after a chilly night at the ball field? Let ORUD help you with a play-by-play to truly make your house feel like home.
Adding a natural gas grill to your home means never having to run to the store before kickoff to fill up that propane tank again. Make the switch today.
Now it's your turn to be the champion of your team and score a touchdown with ORUD and natural gas, a winning combination.
I'm alive.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's broadcast of the OEB Law Game of the Week. Tonight, we are at Jack Armstrong Stadium at Blankenship Field for tonight's matchup between the Oak Ridge Wildcats and the West Rebels. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by James Gibson. And, Coach, we've seen single-A football, we've seen double-A football, we've seen triple-A football. We skipped the 4A, and now we're in the 5A.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. This is going to be a big-time game. West Rebels coming in here with a lot of talent. 2 Arkansas commits on that team, and a very scary Oak Ridge team here tonight that's looking for getting this thing back on the right tracks.
All right, so tonight, as I said, we've got West and Oak Ridge. Now, the Wildcats started 0-2, but since then they're on a 2-game winning streak, but West looks legit 4-0. Early thoughts on this one?
I'm anticipating this one to be one of the best games in East Tennessee tonight. Listen, West is one of the better teams, better programs in the state, and they have an offense that's put up 138 points and over 1,300 yards in 4 games alone. Listen, Oak Ridge is going to have to play lockdown defense tonight if they want to knock off this high-powered offense of West.
And tonight it's West Oak Ridge. These two teams have something in common in that they were both defeated by Catholic last season. By the way, Catholic not even playing. They're in the private school division now, so I guess I won't harp on that for too much longer, but that is a point of contention amongst all public schools.
Absolutely. They belong in that division, and they beat up on public schools for a while, and you saw a lot of kids, local talent that ended up at Knox Catholic. So all these public schools are breathing easy.
This is the OEB Law Game of the Week. We're so glad to have you with us. We're so glad to have OEB Law with us through charity event sponsorships, including Shrine Circus, Rivalry Thursday, Ice Bears, Monster Jam, Harlem Globetrotters, WWE Wrestling, Spotlight Kids, and county fairs. OEB gets involved with the community. Visit recintoacheck.com or give them a call at 865-546-1111 as you see that on your screen. So it's Oak Ridge, it's West. We'll talk about teams around the area. We'll talk about games around the area when we get back. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week.
Support community here.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Hello?
That's how some people do things.
Right away.
To us, everything we do is personal. Because anyone can answer the call. It's who shows up that matters most. That's the quality of your independent agent and the company that stands behind them.
Griffin Insurance is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Come celebrate Ford Truck and SUV Month at Ray Varner Ford in Clinton. New 2019 Ford Edge, $27,998. New 2019 Ford Fusion, $19,960. Or shop us online at rayvarnerford.com.
Bryson's Closet, a storehouse of hope, is a nonprofit organization providing clothing and housewares to the financially disadvantaged of Anderson, Roane, and Morgan counties. Bryson's Closet makes this possible with their thrift store that is located at 350 North Illinois Avenue in Oak Ridge. Bryson's Closet is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please visit Bryson's Closet to donate, shop, or even volunteer. Bryson's Closet, a storehouse of hope.
Come celebrate Ford Truck and SUV Month at Ray Varner Ford in Clinton. New 2019 Ford Ranger Super Cab, $22,996. New 2019 Ford F-150, $23,629. Or shop us online at rayvarnerford.com.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
and the hot water wars. A Rinnai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do. Rinnai, hot water for all.
Reno Sport. Welcome back to the OEB Law Game of the Week. We see this beautiful footage of Blankenship Field. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by James Gibson in our OEB Law Game of the Week at Jack Armstrong Stadium for tonight's game between Oak Ridge and the West Rebels. So there's an overhead view of what's going on right now at Blankenship Field. You see the nice turf, too, that Oak Ridge was able to implement this season. What are your thoughts on turf?
Oh, turf is invaluable, Aaron. As a coach speaking, it's awesome, man. You don't have to worry about painting the field and watering the field and all the mowing that goes into it. So guess what? You have more time to focus on football, X's and O's. So it frees up a lot of time.
We're getting ready to hear our national anthem, so we will join in with the Oak Ridge Marching Band. We're also going to get a presentation of the colors. National anthem performed by the Oak Ridge Marching Band. So let's get into some games around the area tonight. And first, let's talk about a team whose season hasn't gone the way that they want it to go. The Fulton Falcons, they're winless, and Austin East hung 70 on them last week. The schedule's been brutal. They've played Central, Powell, and South Doyle in that stretch. They've got Carnes tonight. Is it too late to salvage this season?
It's never too late, but this is sort of unknown territory for Fulton. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm predicting Fulton will be around 2-8, 3-7.
Ooh.
I know that will be the first time in a long time. I think the worst finish they've had that I can remember was in 2008. I think they finished around 4-8. So let's see how these players and coaches respond to this adversity they're facing so far this season.
Another team that hasn't had the season that they had hoped for is Whitwell, coming off of a single A state championship. They are 0-4 as well. They were 15-0 last season. What's going on with the Tigers?
Well, they returned 5 starters on both sides of the ball, but it's a little deeper than that. They had a huge freshman class coming in of 18 players, so the future's bright, but they lost a lot of talent last year. And they have a new first-year head coach in Travis Odlinger. So there's a learning curve there. They will be better as the season continues, but they're off to a slow start.
Another team we've seen this season, Harriman, 0-4. Only the Kingston game, which we covered in the first week of the season, was even competitive. What's the season outlook for the Blue Devils?
It's not too good down in Harriman at the moment. But listen, they have several opportunities left to get some wins, but their offense is stagnant, Aaron, stagnant. Only scoring a total of 36 points so far this season. they're going to have to get things turned around quick and figured out offensively if they want to salvage this season.
Got a good mid-season region matchup taking place in Chattanooga tonight as Anderson County's got Howard. Both teams are 3-1 thus far, and AC's coming off a huge win against South Doyle. Do the Mavericks carry momentum forward, or are they due for a letdown after the big win?
I think Anderson County continues trucking right along, but don't get it twisted. Howard is a very good ball team. But I'm liking this AC team. I'll take AC by 7.
All right, we've seen Oliver Springs play very well early in the season, and tonight the Bobcats really get the measuring stick. It's Greenback. Everybody knows it's Greenback. What will it take for OS to make a statement tonight on the road?
You got to shut down the passing game of Greenback and limiting big plays by the likes of all-state wide receiver Holden Willis, who's a 3-star, and Maryville transfer quarterback Brandon Carnes. I mean, unfortunately, Oliver Springs, they haven't played a team that can throw the football quite like Greenback, but they will adjust well. Oliver Springs can't have turnovers, and they must dominate that running game if they stay in that ball game.
That's James Gibson. I'm Aaron Harvey. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week. OEB does it all. Personal injury, low-cost agreed divorce, SSD, workers' compensation, criminal defense, wills, medical malpractice, nursing home neglect, bad drugs or medical devices. They do everything they can to help people no matter what the situation is, and they can do it all or find you an expert attorney who can. Visit wreckintoacheck.com to see what OEB Law can do for you. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week. We will preview our game tonight when we get back.
Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low price. Race on down!
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
The Oak Ridge Wildcats make their dramatic entrance onto Blankenship Field tonight at Jack Armstrong Stadium. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by James Gibson. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week. Should be a good one. And what a turnover for Region 3-5A. Fulton won the region last season and is now winless. Powell finished last season, albeit because of having to forfeit a few games. But now Powell looks like the team to beat. Oak Ridge finished second, but began this season 0-2, losing to teams the Wildcats defeated last year by a combined 35 points. West was middle of the pack last season, but the Rebels so far have looked like they've taken the step and will be vying for a regular season championship themselves. Tonight's game will go a long way to keep that dream alive. Both teams are undefeated in the region with one victory apiece. West coming against Carnes, Oak Ridge is coming against Campbell County. These two teams have a common opponent in Farragut, which doesn't tell us much, as Oak Ridge won their matchup 21-14 and West won 23-13. So very close when you look at the common opponent there. This one getting ready to get underway. Coach James Gibson, you have analyzed these rosters. You know the players to watch. Who are we watching tonight for both teams?
Well, first off, I'm going to start with a quarterback from Oak Ridge, Mitchell Gibbons. He's 5'9", 170, runs a 4.8 in the 40. He bench presses 235 and he squats 305, but the kid can really move and can really throw, so watch out for this guy. Number 2 is Oak Ridge linebacker Jacob Adams. This guy was Defensive Player of the Week last week versus Farragut. He had 18 tackles, Aaron, which is very impressive. Number 3 is definitely Edwards from West. He's a defensive end. He's 6'3", 240. He has offers from Missouri, Arizona, Indiana, Memphis, Wake Forest, and he's currently committed to Arkansas. Big John Chavis down there with all the Tennessee fans are very familiar with him. Then you got Drew Francis. He's 6'2", 200. He's got offers from Arizona, Memphis, Purdue, and he's also committed to Arkansas. So this West team has 2 commitments to the SEC on the defensive side of the ball alone. That is impressive.
As you see on the screen there, Tyrese Edwards and Drew Francis both possibly going to Arkansas. They have committed to go to Arkansas. So the coin toss just taking place on the field as Oak Ridge wins the toss. And we are getting set to get this game underway as the band clears the field. This is just such a great atmosphere for high school football. And when you think about, so I'm from a small town in Morgan County, but you hear the legend of Blankenship Field, and just being able to be here and experience the atmosphere and everything they do for the game day experience is really, really nice.
Absolutely. And when you think Oak Ridge football, you think Joe Gaddis. Okay, Coach Gaddis is in his 44th year coaching high school football, and this is his 7th season back at Oak Ridge. Listen to this coaching record: 306 and 127. I mean, that is impressive. In the state of Tennessee alone, he's 268 and 86. He's been a head coach in Alabama, Mississippi, North Carolina. He is one of the most experienced coaches in this area. Then you got Lamar Brown, who is 86 and 47 at West. He came from Morristown West. He turned that program around. I think he was around 71-35. He made the 5A playoffs. And Coach Gaddis won a state championship in Oak Ridge in 91. So he's done a lot of things, and he really resurrected this program when he came back to Oak Ridge.
And this Oak Ridge team, you think a couple of years back, this team has T. Higgins, and that team made it to the semifinals, or the quarterfinals rather, was upset in the quarterfinals. Everybody thought that team would be the one to beat. Then last year, this team got hot around time for the playoffs and was put out by 2 points by Knox Catholic, who went on to win the 5A championship. So Oak Ridge has been that close. Picked unanimously by all coaches to win the region this year. However, it looks like West is the team to beat right now, West and Powell. This is a big game tonight to see what happens as the opening kickoff is underway. It's going to be taken at the 6-yard line for Oak Ridge as the ball is taken up across the 25 up to about the 29-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will start this game, as receiving that kick looked like Jacob Oldman.
Not a bad move by Jacob. He really cut it up and got something out of nothing. Not a bad return.
And the clock didn't start.
We've had a lot of clock problems this year.
We have.
You get a good view of that Oak Ridge offensive line. A lot of big guys on that front, but they're going to have their hands full with this West defense that holds 2 SEC commits on that defensive front.
Yeah, it's interesting that both of these teams came into this season thinking that their lines were strengths to these teams. So it'll be interesting to see this Oak Ridge line returning all those players and the West line returning all those players going up against each other tonight.
Yeah, I'm really excited. As you can tell, if you can see a good view of that defensive line for West, there's one guy that really stands out on that West defensive line. That's Mr. Edwards. I'm going to call him Mr. Edwards, because that's a grown man standing down there. And you can tell the difference between an SEC body versus a NAIA D2 body. That kid right there has got an SEC body.
Tyrese Edwards, and that's exactly why Coach Chad Morris elected to offer the young man to come play at Arkansas.
He fits in perfect in a John Chavis defense as an outside linebacker type. Come in there and do some good pass rushing, sort of like the Leonard Little type in the 90s, 98. So look for him to really come in at Arkansas and do some special things.
So we've got some confusion. We're trying to get the clock figured out. Now they're going to run it down. I think they actually went back and watched a replay and counted how much time had run off the clock. So now they're trying to get that fixed. And as you said, we've seen a lot of clock issues this season.
We really have, man. It's been one after another. Let's talk about this Oak Ridge running back, Kendall Jackson, number 1 for Oak Ridge. He's had 39 carries for 188 yards, and he's only lost 13. That's an average of 4.49. He's got 1 touchdown. This is a very talented guy. Look for him to try to have a big game tonight. But again, it all depends on that offensive line, what they can do with that West defensive line, because they're very talented.
And Jackson is in the backfield to start this game. We weren't sure if it was going to be Jackson or Trey Rowe, as they were listed as both starters for this game, but it is Jackson in the backfield for Oak Ridge.
I'm also eager to see Isaiah Johnson, wide receiver for Oak Ridge. He's number 20. He's got 18 catches for 279 yards. That's an average of 15 yards a catch. And he's got 4 touchdowns. When you talk Joe Gaddis, that's big numbers, because Joe Gaddis is a triple option type guy. He loves running the football, so that's pretty impressive.
Some more confusion is now both teams have been sent to the sidelines. And the public address announcer just tells us there's a timeout on the field because we have a clock issue. Might be a good time for us to take a timeout as well. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week. Tonight it is West, it is Oak Ridge at Blankenship Field. And OEB Law, they are attorneys for you. OEB, it's an East Tennessee-based law firm with national practice, initially formed in 1905 by Ben L. Ogle, then continued by his son, Squire Ogle, and now led by Timothy G. Elrod. And Elrod is from and still makes his home in Anderson County. OEB is practiced in all state, federal, and city courts, and they conduct their business with a smile on their face and a song in their hearts. They understand East Tennessee and its people and how they'd like to be treated and what they expect from someone they've trusted with their problems. So we'd also, on top of thanking OEB, we'd like to thank Jamestown Assisted Living. And if you've been thinking about assisted living, then the time is now. Now through October 1st, if you move in between these dates, you will receive a $1,000 credit off your move-in costs. Availability is limited, so don't miss out on this opportunity. Contact James, Ben, or Fern to schedule a free tour and join the family at Jamestown Assisted Living. That's 865-376-3030, 376-3030 for Jamestown Assisted Living in Kingston. So I believe they've got the clock malfunction fixed, and we'll get to see Mitchell Gibbons lead his Oak Ridge Wildcats team out onto the field. And again, as you said, it is Kendall Jackson in the backfield.
That's good news for Oak Ridge, because he wasn't listed on a two deep, so that led me to believe he might have been banged up a little bit.
Also in the backfield for Oak Ridge, Jacob Adams. As we see, Oak Ridge starts in a pistol set, and Gibbons is going to throw, looks downfield, has a one-on-one situation, but that pass ball's incomplete that time, trying to hit his wide receiver. And it looked like Johnson on that one.
Just overthrew him just a little bit. They came out with a 2 tight end set, as you can see on the replay, sort of pistol formation, 12 personnel, and just 3-step drop, throw it up.
Our replay tonight presented by Chuck Fleischman, as we thank Fleischman for sponsoring our replays tonight. So Gibbons tries to hit Isaiah Johnson on the very first play. Had a one-on-one matchup, falls incomplete, brings up a 2nd and 10. Gibbons hands off Jackson, wide open hole up the middle, gets it to the 35 after breaking a tackle to the 38-yard line, and that is going to be close to a Hammers first down.
Shaking and baking, shaking and baking. He's got some moves. He's a very talented running back in this area. Watch this.
So our Chuck Fleischman replay, you see, comes up just a yard shy of that first down, does Jackson. So the Wildcats will have it 3rd and 1. Gibbons in that pistol set again. Jackson, the tailback, handoff, goes to Jackson, and he just rumbles ahead, across the 40, down at the 42-yard line. That's going to be enough for a Hammers 1st and 10.
Oak Ridge coming out in the too tight. They're coming out too tight mainly for that outside linebacker and that inside backer. Get some extra bodies on that big front, and they're having some success. But when you got a running back there such as him, hey, you better watch out because he could break one quick.
And you see how fast Kendall Jackson just hits that hole.
He's fast.
He knows where he's going, and he gets there in a hurry. So again, a wide out either side for Oak Ridge. Gibbons in the backfield. Takes a snap. Handoff goes to Jackson again. Tries to spin out of a tackle. Cannot. As the play is blown dead, but Jackson was getting away. So they stopped the forward progress a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that will be a loss on the play.
It was. Tyrese Edwards came up and put his hands on him, stopped the momentum, and they caught him dead. I think he lost a little bit there.
As you see Kendall Jackson's stats on the season, 39 carries, 175 yards, and a touchdown. Jackson is a man, but that time met one of West's best players in Tyrese Edwards. So here's Gibbons, lines up, throws a quick out, and it's complete. And that pass goes for about 8 yards before the receiver, Isaiah Johnson, is run out of bounds.
And that's another talented player. He's 5'11", 167. He's a senior. He's played a lot of ball here at Oak Ridge. So they've been expecting a lot of things out of him, and let's see if he shows out tonight.
So that will bring up a third down. A pickup of about 7 makes it 3rd and 5 to go to the Hammers' first down. And again, Jackson in the backfield. Oak Ridge staying in this set. Fakes the handoff. Now a screen pass goes to Jackson. Tries to make the first man miss. It is not going to happen. A loss of 1 on the play will bring up 4th and 6.
West wasn't biting at all on the screen play. He stayed where he was at. See the outside linebacker? He sits. Corner comes up, makes the play. That's a good job. They look like cover 2.
Able to see that on the Chuck Fleischman replay. So now Oak Ridge is going to have to punt.
That's a big stop for West.
Brady Hudson is the punter for Oak Ridge. O'Marion Wright back deep to receive for West, and he does receive it at the 28-yard line, and he's going to be quickly wrapped up and dropped on the play by Preston Turner.
Good tackle, good solid tackle. He got his hands on him, took him to the ground.
So on the Chuck Fleischman replay, we see that punt, and then we see Turner make that stop immediately. So that is where West will take over. Baker Dance leads his team out onto the field as West has it on a Hammers 1st and 10. Line up in a similar set as Oak Ridge was on offense. Sends a man in motion. Dance, hands off, goes around the left side and up ahead, lays a licking. And there's a flag on the play.
Now that's what I like to see out of a running back. Come in there. Was that Mattress?
No.
Hunley?
That was Hunley.
Wow, that's impressive. He came in there and lowered those shoulder pads and laid the boom.
Let's see what this flag is for. Flag is at the 34-yard line. Holding on West. That's a 10-yard penalty, and they've already moved the line of scrimmage marker.
I tell you, looking out here at this big offensive line of West, that is an impressive offensive line. They've got big guys in every position, and they are quick.
So here's Dance on 1st and 15. Quickly gets it out to a wide receiver. It's caught across the 30, up to the 35, and taken down at the 38-yard line. And that time for West, it's O'Marion Wright.
The Oak Ridge safety came up and couldn't quite get him down. That's unfortunate. You got to be able to make that tackle when you get your hands on him. And then number 23 came in there and took him down.
And that is less than half a yard shy of the first down. As we see West's offensive starters tonight, you've got Dance, Isaiah Mattress, Shannon Blair, O'Marion Wright, Grant Tierney at wide receiver, tight end Drew Francis, left tackle Tyrell Ragland, Dylan Lewis, Mason Adams, Kame Lewis, and Thomas Codavilla. And look at the size of that line.
6'7", 241 at right tackle. That is impressive.
So here's the snap. Dance gets it out to his wide receiver with a lot of running room. Picks up the Hammers first down before he's brought down. And on the reception there was Grant Tierney.
That's a good play by West. They've ran it twice already. Throw it out there, have your wide receiver block the corner and get what you can. And so far, West looks a little bit faster out there.
West moving the football as we see Oak Ridge's defensive starters. Matt Calhoun, Cole Adams, Jacob Adams, Brian Kelly, Jack Replogle, Preston Turner, Jacob Burvin, Jackson Adams, Samuel Hensley, Nayan Flack, and Isaiah Johnson.
Keep your eye on number 44, Adams of Oak Ridge.
And going way downfield is Dance, trying to hit his wide receiver Blair. Had a one-on-one matchup, but threw it too far for the incomplete pass.
Yeah, the Oak Ridge looked like they sent a safety blitz. Number 18 of Oak Ridge came in there.
As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay.
On a delayed blitz, and he didn't quite get there fast enough, but hey, that makes the quarterback a little nervous.
And Dance was hit as he threw, but if that pass had connected, you're looking at a touchdown or a first and goal right now. Instead, it's 2nd and 10, West at the 46-yard line, their own 46-yard line. Here's a snap, handoff, and tackled quickly for a loss on the play, and that time getting the handoff was Jay Hundley.
Good solid tackle, loss of about 2.
Loss of 2 will bring up 3rd and 12.
Did a good job reading the offensive guards of West. They pulled both guards. He read them and took him straight to the play, and he made a solid tackle. Oak Ridge coming out in a 4-3 defense.
Here's Dance, going to drop back to pass. Obvious passing play. Throws it across the middle. That pass is off the hands of his intended target. That time trying to hit Blair. Pass is incomplete. And credit on the coverage there for Oak Ridge, Preston Turner, as West will be in a punting situation.
Little dangerous throw here. You had about 2 or 3 Oak Ridge defenders there in the area. Not the best throw or situation to throw in there, but got a little pressure on him.
So Sebastian Latour is the punter for this West team. Fields it, punts it, wobbly spiral, fair caught by, for Oak Ridge, Isaiah Johnson, and that ball is caught at the 24-yard line.
That's a good coaching moment right here. This is what you want. You want to get up there, fair catch the ball so it doesn't bounce inside the 5, and then you have trouble from there on. So it's a really good job of him coming up there and fair catching that ball. A lot of kids will let it bounce and roll in.
So Oak Ridge will have it at the Wildcat 24-yard line with a Hammers 1st and 10. And again, that's Kendall Jackson in the backfield for Gibbons. Jackson now in motion. Gibbons isn't even looking that way as throws an errant pass, although I think maybe his arm was hit as it was going forward to cause that incomplete pass.
Interesting play call. You never really want trips. They flexed that running back out to the short side of the field, and they had twins on the short side of the field. So that's a crowded area, and West wasn't biting. They knew, hey, we're going to make sure we got double coverage on this outside wide receiver.
And Gibbons was looking left the entire way. That's where that play was going.
That's a low percentage play.
So now Oak Ridge has it 2nd and 10. Gibbons rolls out to his left, looks way downfield, has a man there, and it's overthrown. Trying to hit Tyrell Romano that time, and just off of his fingertips as that pass ball is incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10.
Looked like John Cupp in on the play for West. It was a good job coming in there, being close on coverage, not drawing a penalty, hanging in there tough, just an overthrown ball.
And it was just an overthrown ball, had an opportunity for it. As you were right, you saw John Cupp come up from his safety position.
West has a very disciplined defense. Their defensive coordinator does a really good job with this bunch.
3rd and 10. Gibbons in that pistol set again. Quick out is complete and getting nowhere that time look like Romano for Oak Ridge, and the Wildcats are going to have to punt.
That's a big play. Big stop. Big stop. Let's see if what West has up their sleeve here on this offensive possession. Oak Ridge has struggled a little bit offensively this year, so let's see if how they respond with 2 3-and-outs.
Here's the punt from Oak Ridge. It's a wobbly spiral, and that ball is going to bounce and roll out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and that's where West will take over with a Hammers 1st and 10. So Baker Dance will get another chance to lead his Rebels down the field.
Let's see what he does with it. He's a very talented kid. He's got talent all around him, but so does Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge has a lot of speed in the defensive backfield, and they've got a lot of talent at the linebacker position. But this offensive line of West looks to be just a little bit bigger and stronger than the Oak Ridge defensive line.
Oak Ridge had to replace a lot of talent in that secondary this season. Option play now, as a lot of running room for West, and that time getting up ahead was Jay Hunley. We've seen a lot of Hunley so far, and that's enough for a Hammers 1st and 10 as the ball is spotted at the Oak Ridge 41-yard line.
Just a simple speed option, and the quarterback really pitched it too soon, but hey, I don't blame him. When you got that kind of speed set behind you, get rid of the ball.
Play action pass. Here's Dance, throws it way downfield and overthrows his target. Seen a lot of overthrows so far in this game.
Big Jacob Adams, the guy I was talking about earlier, 5'11", 202 pounds, came in there and put pressure on Dance, and it just overthrown ball, and it looks like there's a penalty.
That's right around the line of scrimmage. You'd think maybe a hold.
Definitely in the area.
And unfortunately, Mr. Whitehat looks the other direction. But I do believe we got a hold there, which will back the ball back up into West territory. Still going to be a 1st down, a Hammers 1st down for West, but they've got a long way to go.
Yeah, 1st and 21, I believe. But you got 4 to convert.
And this West Rebel team can move the football, as we got another flag on the play. And this is going to be a false start. And that's going to back West up 5 more yards, which will make it a Hammers 1st and 26.
You can't keep shooting yourself in the foot and expect big plays. So let's see what they do here. Your play calling abilities here are starting to dwindle. Your playbook is getting smaller and smaller with the choices that you have. So let's see what they do here.
You really have 3 plays to get 26 yards.
Yeah, you got to be throwing, look for screens, and go down the field a little bit and see what happens.
So a quick out, and the first guy does miss, as getting up the field for West is Grant Tierney, and he's run out of bounds in Oak Ridge territory.
Great play to evade the defender.
So you see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, Tierney almost went down, but the officials said he was able to stay on his feet, and that ball is placed at the Oak Ridge 49-yard line. So you still have a long way to go, as looks like 8 yards were made up on that play.
Isaiah Johnson, a cornerback for Oak Ridge, has got to keep his head up, come in there and make a secure tackle.
Bunch formation now, as Dance throws it downfield, overthrown and almost intercepted. There on the coverage for Oak Ridge was Jack Replogle from his safety spot. Didn't see the ball in time, or that could have been a big defensive play for Oak Ridge.
Yeah, he's definitely going to hear about that in film study from his teammates. That could have been a big play if he'd have spotted it a little bit earlier.
So 3rd and 18. West is in Oak Ridge territory, but going to have to make up a lot of ground right here.
With the talent they have on offense, Aaron, anything's possible here.
What you want to avoid in this situation, of course, is a turnover.
Worst case scenario, but they got a good kicker.
Dance in the backfield, rolls to his left, looks downfield, has got one-on-one coverage, and We've got a flag on the play sitting at the West 49-yard line. That pass was complete by Dance, but we have to see what this play was as we look at the Chuck Fleischman replay.
It looked like holding on the right guard.
That's exactly what it was. And
this West offensive line is going to have a talking to when they get over there on this sideline. I guarantee you that. How many holding penalties is that on so far?
At least.
That's unacceptable. You can't have that and win ball games. So they got to tighten up and calm down a little bit.
So that backs West up to the 39-yard line. Let's see. That'll make it 3rd and 28.
That's a long way to go. Your playbook is paper thin right here.
Our scoreboard showing 3rd and 32. We'll go ahead and we'll go with that as we've got a timeout on the field. I'm not sure.
Looked like an equipment malfunction for number 23 of Oak Ridge.
And what could that be on the high school ranks?
Anything, mouthpieces, blood. You could have several different things. Your chin straps broke. Sometimes the refs will call timeout and make you go fix it.
All right, so here it is, 3rd and 32. Baker Dance takes a snap, obviously looking downfield, and he's going to let it fly. He's got a man there, has to slow down, try to make the catch.
Oh!
Doesn't. It's intercepted, but there's flags on the play, and I think we're going to have a defensive pass interference here as that pass was intercepted. Let's see, by Oak Ridge's Cameron Chambers. And that was a heads-up play by Chambers to intercept that ball, but you do have pass interference on Oak Ridge, which will be an automatic first down for West.
It looked like Preston Turner, the cornerback, the 5'11", 150-pound junior for Oak Ridge. It was a heads-up play. He got caught with pass interference, but what a play to come down with the ball. Big break for West. Get better field position here.
Oh, they're still showing 3rd down. I guess that's not an automatic first down. So instead, it'll be 3rd and 15.
Another penalty on the offensive line of West.
So back West up 5 more yards. It's been an adventure for this West offense. Was a 3rd and 15, will now be a 3rd and 20. Was a 3rd and 32. As that time is Thomas Codavilla.
You just can't have it. You can't keep shooting yourself in the foot and expect to beat a team like Oak Ridge like you want to. So you've got to tighten up. I'd hate to be that offensive line coach over on that sideline right now.
We are 2/3 of the way through the first quarter. This game is scoreless.
Look for a screen type play over here on the far side of the field.
Goes the other way. And that's just a little bubble screen. Doesn't go for much.
Screen play to the short side of the field.
And a scoring update in the first quarter. Coalfield leads over Oakdale 20-0.
Yeah, Oakdale's really struggling this year. I believe they had around 13 players.
They don't have much.
Yeah, that's difficult. That's difficult to play high school football with that few of players. It's kind of dangerous, really.
Sebastian Latour in to kick for this West Rebel team. And a fair catch is made again.
And West is lucky. That was a low snap. Hunter was able to handle it appropriately and got a good kickoff. But if Oak Ridge would have had a block on, that could have been dangerous for West.
And Isaiah Johnson able to field that punt cleanly. Call for the fair catch. Wasn't much of a wave for the fair catch, but that's all you need.
That's all you need, but it's dangerous not to give a big wave so those defenders that's running 100 miles an hour down that field, they need to see it.
Mitchell Gibbons. Kendall Jackson behind him. Hammers 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Jackson gets a handoff going up the middle and just steamrolls to the 20-yard line.
I love the way he runs the football.
He's so, he's quick, but he's also powerful.
Yes, he is. He's a very talented running back. So look for him to just continue to get the ball and pick up the tough yardage.
As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, just runs over people. Gain of 5 on the play will bring up 2nd and 5. Gibbons in that pistol set again. Gets a snap. Handoff to Jackson again. Not a bad idea. Jackson breaks it out to the 26-yard line before he's brought down. What a great tackle.
He is such a tough runner. When you see on the replay, even at the very end of the play after he's down, he gets up with attitude. And that's what you want out of the running back position. Watch here. Hey, he's imposing his will. And that, as a defender, you never do like that. You don't like the big running backs getting comfortable.
That's a big stop, though, from a safety. John Cupp coming up to make that play. But you just said it. I mean, it just looks like at any moment Jackson can break off a long run. As now we have another penalty by West on this Hammers 1st and 10. That's encroachment, and so a free 5 yards to Oak Ridge.
Well, if he does that at Arkansas, I can guarantee you John Chavis is going to be having him sit on the sidelines with him and talk about it a little while. You just can't have undisciplined plays. You've got, at the defensive line, there's no excuse for you jumping off sides. The ball's right in front of you. Look at it. Come on.
Oak Ridge back up to the line. Hammers 1st and 5. Gibbons has 2 wide receivers to the right. Here's a snap, handoff, Jackson. Jackson, not much on that one. And we have a flag.
This is a flag fest so far. I didn't expect this really to have so many penalties.
Looking at the Chuck Fleischman replay, had some extracurriculars, and that time getting caught was John Sartell.
You just can't have that.
But it was actually called on Oak Ridge. So, and when I said Sartell's name for West, it's normally because it's the second guy that gets caught. But that time, the officials got it right. You had extracurriculars, and Oak Ridge loses 10 yards on that play, which brings up a Hammers 1st and 15. Hammers 1st and 16. And actually, after the run, you mark off 15 yards. It's a 15-yard penalty. So, Hammers 1st and 16. Here's a quick out, and pass is incomplete, trying to get the wide receiver Tyrell Romano that time.
He had the West defender beat. It was an overthrown ball, but not a bad play call here. So he had him.
Yeah.
Good route.
Yeah, and if Romano catches that, he gains a lot of yards.
He does. He's still running.
So City Councilman Kelly Callison says, go Wildcats, beat West. They're certainly trying tonight, City Councilman Kelly Callison.
But what a beautiful field we have here.
It is.
At Blankenship Field now.
It is. It's tremendous. Gibbons, handoff. Trying to find some running room around the left side, or right side. Not going to find much there. As for Oak Ridge, that was Isaiah Johnson on the jet sweep.
Yeah, just a little too many moves on that. You'd rather see him make one good cut inside and get what you can.